What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapachet, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you so much for stopping by on this lovely Wednesday evening. It is a nice, warm, well, I should say hot, but windy day here in Las Vegas. The Wednesday after Mother's Day. I hope everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day. Enjoyed it to the best that you can. As always, enjoy your mother's presence, and keep her as close as you possibly can, guys, because, usually, our time here is longer than theirs. So by all means, spend as much time with your mothers as possible. And I hope you guys enjoyed your Mother's Day. We had some stuff to do, of course, on Mother's Day, and unfortunately, that kind of spilled into Monday. We're trying to get the show crack a like, and we're like, damn, it's just a lot of stuff going on. So we decided to just wait until Wednesday to record the show. So we appreciate you guys' patience as always. Sometimes duty calls, right? Family calls, and we have to get that stuff crack a like. And so we went ahead and did that. So again, we appreciate you guys. Sometimes when we have to skip a show, I kind of want to post a short video, just let you guys know of that, but then I don't get around to it, and I'm like, God damn it, we didn't even let these guys know. But that's all right, because that just means there's more news to add to the list of stuff we're going to talk about. Because if you guys remember, there was some fights on on Mother's Day. Zuffa decided to do their show on Sunday, of course, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Main evented by Sergey Boachuk and Shane Mosley Jr. We're going to be talking about that card, I guess specifically the main event on that one, because of what it could potentially mean for Zuffa. We're going to go into some Zuffa news shortly after that as well. But of course, the story of this weekend, Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois. We're going to talk about those details. But holy hell, what a scrap that was, and what a turn of events at the end there. So we're going to be talking about that, and throwing in our 2 cents on how long the corner / referee could have waited, or should have waited, or should have waited. We're gonna let you guys know what our opinion is on that one, of course. And then on the undercard of that one, David Morrell got quite the shocker. Funny, my pops was like, "Yo, this is if Morrell loses this one, it's gonna go down the drain real fast." And sure enough, that happens. But we're gonna be talking about that here in a little bit. The surprise shock of one Vasiliy Lomachenko making a return, or at least that's the word, coming out of retirement one day after his top rank contract expires. Sounds like he pulled a mini money Floyd Mayweather with what he did to Oscar De La Hoya several years back. But we're going to be talking about that, what that could mean for the lightweight division, where he might land. It seems as though, of course, he's kind of, well, that's our guess, at least, that he's done collecting belts. He wants to come and gets the paycheck. He's been sitting back looking at everybody else getting these humongous Saudi paychecks, and they're like, you know what? Let me go ahead and hop in here and get some of mine. We're going to be talking about David Benavidez versus Zurdo Ramirez, and the pay-per-view buys that, man, we're gonna talk about it, because the numbers were okay. That they weren't great. I guess it sort of depends on what direction you're looking at here. But numbers were lower than what most people thought, and we're going to be talking about that. And not just pay-per-view numbers, but also ticket sales at the T-Mobile Arena. We've been talking about that, of course. And we're going to throw in some Adrien Broner. Sometimes Adrien Broner, we've compared him to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He's basically the American version of Chavez Jr. Every time this dude shows up on social media, it's news for us, right? We want to talk about it, and it's like this guy just continued to gives us content every single time he posts something, because boy, this guy is going off the rails here. But we're going to be talking about it. All right. So before we get crack-a-lacking on those topics, as always, a word from our video sponsor, Health E Sol, or Health Y Sol, tallow-based products, tallow-based soaps in particular. Make sure to check them out online. If you happen to find anything you want to try out, make sure to use the code MADBoxing10 at checkout and get 10% off of your purchase, or follow the affiliate link that's going to be in the description of this video and get that same 10% off. As I always want to recommend, lavender patchouli, that happens to be my favorite scent. I stack up on that shit every time I get a chance. So make sure to check them out. Once more, Health E Sol, because they will greatly appreciate it, and so will we, because it's a quite inexpensive way to support the channel. We appreciate you guys. All right, so we're gonna get crack-a-lacking with the main story of this weekend, which it is Daniel Dubois coming in. I wish I could do the English accent the way they talk about the Dubois, but coming in the 11th round, scoring a TKO victory over former WBO heavyweight champion. His just had to go apparently. Fabio Wardley, previously undefeated, losing his WBO heavyweight championship against Daniel Dubois this Saturday, and quite the barn burner of a fight. When I was watching this, me and my pops were kind of on the fence on whether or not we wanted to put any money on Dubois. He was, I think it was minus 115 or something like that. Both guys were like at minus 110, between minus 110 and 115. And we're like, yeah, I don't know. We're kind of on the fence. It's still a pretty decent number. It's not plus a number, of course. It's not like official underdog. But regardless, we're kind of on the fence. And quite frankly, I didn't want to do it. In the end, we did not, on my advice. But seeing the way, and I will never be one to call a fighter a quitter per se. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because I do call sometimes we call Ryan Garcia that. But when I think about Daniel Dubois and I think about some of his previous losses, and I'm like, damn it, man. Sometimes he'll give you one good fight and then two bad ones, and then like two good ones and then one bad one, and is very inconsistent in his recent years. And the fact that Wardley is coming up and in the position that he is, I thought, you know what, man, there's no fucking way. Even if the fight is close on the scorecards and the fight goes a full 12 rounds, I don't think they'd give it to Dubois. I thought they'd just give it to Wardley. He's the favorite, right? And in the early rounds, I thought this is the direction it's going to go. He dropped Dubois 8 in the opening seconds of round 1, and then does so again, I think, in round 3. And I'm like, man, at this point, and that second knockdown looked kind of the way he took a knee in previous fights. Like if you see him the way he gets hit, he kind of gets stumbled or whatever, and then he immediately takes a knee, and I'm like, okay, here it is. This is what I predicted. I thought Wardley could take Dubois' punch better than Dubois can take Wardley's, and going in, ending at the ending of that third round, I was like, yeah, this is the direction it's going to go. But holy hell, Dubois with his left hand basically smoked Wardley. That the jab was there all day. Wardley's head movement was just not there. And look, this is kind of the MO for Wardley. We know the guy, it falls back on the scorecards, but he's got that pop, and he ends up bailing himself out later on with the power. And I thought he was going to do the same, going into the 6th, 7th, 8th round. I'm like, man, his face is getting fucked up. Like his face was getting messed up. And I'm like, man, if Dubois can keep this going, he takes it. He wins it. Those early rounds were to Wardley, but really beyond that, it was basically a Dubois show. Yeah, he would get hit every so often. Wardley would kind of rest a little bit and then load up on a really big uppercut, and he'd connect. But you know what? Dubois didn't go fucking anywhere. Man, he kept putting that pressure on him, and Wardley was just looking off balance. And again, that's kind of the way he does, right? If you listen to, I believe it was his last fight against Joseph Parker, if you hear the commentators, they were busting a nut over Wardley, saying like, man, this guy's story is so crazy. He started boxing late, very little amateur pedigree, if any, and then he comes in and he becomes this dude, and now he's like the WBO heavyweight champion, and they make a big deal out of it, and they're like, there's going to be a movie made of this guy. They were really on this guy's nuts. And look, after seeing the way he's been knocking people out, all right, I get it. And that stoppage against Joseph Parker was a little controversial. I didn't think it was the right time to do it. But I thought, you know what, if they don't stop it then, Joseph Parker's going to take this dude. And, the referee stopped it there. But this one, there was no ref to be found for the stoppage, because, boy, did it take a while for the referee to step in here, almost as if he was giving Wardley as much time as possible to be like, all right, you can take it from here. I know you're cut. I know you're bloody. I know you're getting fucked up. But let me go ahead and give you as much opportunity as you possibly can to turn things around and get Dubois out of here. Ultimately, that didn't happen. The corner. I thought maybe the corner was going to step in at some point, maybe the 8th, 9th round, because it was getting bad. Ultimately, in the 11th, as the referee stepped in, and we were all agreeing with that, right? I think Dubois' left eye was swelling a little bit, but it was very minor, not the kind of injury that he's had before in the past. But man, what a crazy ass victory! The early rounds, they were Wardley, but man, after that, it seemed as though it was all Dubois, and everyone's calling this the possible fight of the year, or at least a candidate for fight of the year. I'm not sure about that because again, it just kind of was the tale of two fights. It was the first few rounds, the first early rounds that went to Wardley, and from then on, it was pretty much Dubois. So. Andrew, let me go ahead and bring you into this here. First and foremost, I hope you had a great Mother's Day on Sunday. And let us know. Throw in your 2 cents here. What did you see here with Dubois taking on Wardley and taking his belt? And what was your opinion of the stoppage ultimately that came in the 11th?
What's up, you guys? Dude, one of the funnest heavyweight fights in a long time, right? I think it will be a candidate for fight of the year, because they were going back and forth for a while. Now you can say that Dubois was coming on and was taking over that fight, but with his chin and the way that every once in a while both guys landing those heavy shots, I think the Wardley fans were in it with the puncher's chance a lot longer than we're giving them credit for. So I think it was an exciting fight. I was entertained. Really wasn't a favorite. We talked about how both guys were on a negative number. There was a few dollars that separated them, but basically casino wanted your money either way. They were both ranked top 5 in the division going in. They fought like it, man. This is a barn burner. One guy had success early, fizzled out late. Might have rushed them. They might have rushed Wardley. Maybe a little bit too much too soon going into Dubois right after a hard fight with Parker. Don't know what it was. We won't know that until Wardley comes back, if he comes back. He took a massive beating, and he's not a... We're going to see how true of a boxer Wardley is in the next few months here. If this was just a run he was doing, or if he truly is in love with the sport, because to come back from what his face looked like, you got to be in love with the shit, man. You're wired differently than normal people. And so we'll see what Wardley does. He's proven it, many times over on cutting weight and getting as successful as he has, but he got hit by a truck at the end there. At least his face looked like it. You got to imagine what he looked like the next morning. He had to stare at that. His mom, everyone that, I don't even know his relatives, but can you imagine having to face everyone when your face looks like that after a fight? Everyone probably in the room wants you to think of a new job, right? So we'll see who he is. Dubois, hell of a comeback. I don't have the young man's record in front of me, but he's been racking up a few wins here back to back now since the what was it? The Usyk defeat, if I'm not mistaken, right? That's what they were talking about.
Yeah. Let me see. So it looks like he had the loss with Usyk, went on a 3-fight win streak, lost one more time with Usyk, and then had this fight with Wardley. Ultimately, with a record of 23 wins, 3 losses, and the majority of these wins by KO, like 22 by KO. So.
Yeah, and basically don't put him in the ring with Usyk is what that record's telling.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And you can forget about this, yeah.
And they should. I know right away everyone was like, oh, Usyk's going to be running to fight him a third time. I don't think so. I don't think Usyk's that kind of guy. You know what I mean? And I don't see him really having that many fights left in him. So, sheesh. He's the one training Joshua. Maybe if Joshua gets past Fury, Usyk might do that. Usyk might be like, now I train you to fight Dubois. We will beat Dubois. And Joshua's going to be like, no, not Dubois. I went 99 against him. That's going to be his Rocky and Creed moment. What's wrong with you?
There is no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those. What's the matter with you, Rock?
That I definitely see Usyk making Joshua do. The rematch with Dubois might be on the table, guys.
And here's the thing, though, like Moses Itama, if I can pronounce the name right, was ringside, who's cool with Wardley,
Oh yeah.
and Wardley ended up losing, and apparently Moses might be the actual mandatory challenger for the WBO belt at that point, but Frank Warren did say that there is a rematch clause here, so there's a possibility that we're going to get Dubois and Wardley one more time. However, how soon? Obviously, who knows? Because it's going to be a while before we see Wardley. He's going to need to take some time off to recoup. So I don't know if he's going to step aside and just let the mandatory and Aitama come in and take on Dubois in the meantime, or everything is going to basically bottleneck and stall until Wardley gets back. Because we're gonna have to let Wardley or force him, because the guy he's got the warrior, right? He's got the heart of a warrior, so he wants to come back, but I have to force him to stay on the sideline for a little bit to recover, because this is those kind of beatings where you leave a part of you in the ring.
Yeah, I was thinking if there was a way Dubois could make money on this run, but there really isn't, because he's already fought in so many of the big names that are currently running the heavyweight division. If they make him fight Moses, then maybe I do try to see if Wardley wants the rematch first. I wouldn't want to get, you would hope that he gets a bigger payday, but if not, then let's give him 2 paydays in one, and that would be the rematch with Wardley, even though I don't really think it's necessary for the health of Wardley. Wardley just looked too green, you guys. I mean, that's what makes me more cautious about going forward with that rematch, was just the way he looked. Not only did he run out of gas, but he lost his punch selection. I mean, he turned into this one-trick pony, and as soon as that got exposed, that fight was over, man. As far as one guy landing the other one with better power punches, he still had his puncher's chance, right? He was still throwing it, but yeah, he just looked too green. It was, and then it got sad, like you said at the very end. That was getting sad. Even though, I always think of the fights like the Jorge Castros, right? That pulled it out. The Gotti, the Arturo Gotti, both eyes shut, pulls it out. He did that numerous times with Rodriguez and Ruelas. So you think of moments like that, and these guys are professionals. I never seen Wardley saying he wanted to quit in the corner. Every time the ref broke it up and was like, "Can you see?" he answered correctly. And I think 2 of the times his eye was still open too. It was like, "Come on, ref, what the fuck?" His eye is not even closed. At the very end, it looked like he got hit by a truck, but that might have been, the last 2 rounds of the fight or so, whatnot. So, I think Wardley did. Wardley, I think he did fine. He took a beating like a man. I guess he is wired differently because he took that beating, right? So now he just needs to heal up and see where his heart's at. We don't know what it feels like to go through something like that, or what he has to sleep through. So we'll see if he comes back from this. If he does, Dubois rematch. Look, if Frank Warren wants to do it, I say yes if they're going to make him fight Utama.
Which I just call him Moses because his last
Moses,
name is like Itama.
We'll get it when we'll get it. But Moses, freaking, I'm gonna say it's not a big money fight. UK is different though, right? They do pack the house, so maybe they make enough money where they can go right to that fight. Damn, that kind of sucks to win a title and then just be a stepping stone all over again. You think that title brings more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
just gonna beat him to Itama. I definitely agree that Wardley and he looked green, and frankly he is green. He really is. I mean, you see the way he puts everything. I mean, he was throwing right hands, and look, there are some fighters that are special and can get away with that shit, right? The Roy Jones, the Manny Pacquiao's, the way Manny would throw that left hand and his fucking left foot would come off the canvas like he's pitching a ball. This is what Wardley was doing, but he didn't have that kind of specialness to be, or at least offensive wise, to be able to do that and not get countered or not pay the price for it. And you can see it towards the latter rounds where he was just swinging, like he was just throwing that right hand, his head was going over his lead knee, and it was just very green stuff, right? And he was clinching a lot, right? He was moving back the whole time, well, the majority of the time at least, prior to like the early rounds, or after the early rounds, I mean. But it was pretty obvious that he was kind of stuck. Like he got to a level or a part in the fight where it got hard, and he's like, "Fuck, I'm not experienced enough to deal with this." He's just gonna try to figure out one way or another and basically learn on the job, continuing to swing that right hand, telegraphing it like a motherfucker, because Dubois, for the most part, was able to see it coming. He was able to either get out of the way or block it. And for the most part, at least the second half, Wardley or Dubois was able to handle him with the left hand. He was able to jab the shit out of him with the left hand. And then before Wardley knew it, that right hand came over. Andrew, what took the ref or maybe his corner so long to like stop it? It was obvious by like I think the ninth that it wasn't going to turn around. But like you said, I know you had, there's always that last puncher's chance, but it just seemed like round after round it was beating after beating. Ultimately, those referee that stepped in here, but did the ref in the corner, did they take too long here? I mean, I know, like I said, you and your opinion regarding the fighters just letting them go out on their shield because it's
Right.
them, but
Right.
did they take too long here?
I will say the corner more than the ref. I thought the ref, he broke it up. He let the doctor give the decision. I think he even said that on one of the breakups. He's, I'm gonna let the doctor decide.
Uh-huh.
Right, when he tried to make an argument about his eye right away, I think the ref just said something like, well, let's let the doctor decide. So it seems like he was doing what he was supposed to. um you know uh his corner, they have to realize when it's time. Are you trying to save your fighter, or are we going for broke tonight? Right, it's all or nothing on this night, or we gonna save them to try to grow. And I think there was growth there with Wardley. He had already proven himself as a warrior, right, for taking that beating, for getting the knockdowns. And honestly, it could have been those knockdowns that were making them question about stopping it too, knowing that yes, he was taking beatings, but the math, right, they're like, he hasn't been dropped. So if
Mhm.
you give him 2 points, he was up by 4, and he only needs one more knockdown. He'll be right back in. You know what I mean? They might have started doing the math in their head and hoping that that hourglass would have ran out before the fucking kid got his brains beaten in. And unfortunately, the kid got his brains beaten in before the thing ran out. So shitty on them part. If you're looking for a trainer, you might want to remember this night. I'm just saying. Because that could have possibly been what was happening there, Miguel. They were playing math with the clock, and they put that young man in risk and hope that he would get him stumbled one more time, maybe win a round. I mean, 3 knockdowns. How do you lose a fight?
Right.
If he drops him one more time, Miguel, how does he lose this fight? Right? 3 knockdowns. I think we've seen it, but it'd be pretty hard mathematically to lose that fight when you haven't been dropped and you drop your opponent 3 times.
Yeah, and on that note, Wardley's trainer is Ben Davison, who is under a lot of scrutiny now because of this. Because I don't know if, I mean, he's a young trainer, and I think he's been under I always use that word, under the periscope, under the microscope, a lot in recent years, just because of his decision making in the corner. And this one is just another one of those. But apparently, people are coming down on him hard for not throwing in the towel any earlier, especially with somebody as green as Wardley is still. But I don't know where he goes from here. I mean, I know obviously as far as resting goes, but there's no word on whether or not they're going to exercise that rematch clause. And we kind of see this happen with fighters sometimes when they face their first loss. Their comeback is a different trainer. They go with somebody else. We don't know if that's going to be the case here. I'm just throwing that out there because it is his first loss and he loses the belt. But I'm not sure how much further Ben Davison can take him, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Wardley back in the rematch with a different trainer.
Yeah, especially if enough people get inside of his head and give him the argument that I just put out there about they played math with your life.
Yeah.
They were betting on a knockdown, kid. They weren't
Yeah.
really thinking about you.
Like, we can still get a 115, 113 if you could drop it one more time. If you could just hang in there, and if that we can get the swelling on that eye down a little bit more, we could possibly get 150, 13 kind of at the very end. But you're gonna need that knockdown more than you're gonna need it. Oh boy. Yeah, but it was a fun fight. Now, and look, I get the people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was entertained by it. I most certainly was. Me and my pops were. But I don't know if it's going to be up there as far as like. I mean, they're going to throw it up there as a candidate for fight of the year. But I don't know. I see it as a fight of a tale of two fights. It's the early ones, with Wardley coming on. Yeah, Wardley would throw in the second half, but it just seemed like that second. When I think about fight of the year candidates, it's almost like it's back and forth, like round per round. Like one dude gets one round, one dude gets one round, or even in the middle of the round, it's like they each get the better of each other. And towards the second, even after like maybe the fifth or the sixth, beyond that, it just seemed like it was all Dubois. Yes, Wardley did land his shots a few here and there, but it didn't seem like they were enough to hurt Dubois. Whenever he would land, he would just be there. He would take it. He would eat it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd go that far. Very, very entertaining and a very fun heavyweight fight in a year that we've had some pretty good fights. I mean, was Chisora and fucking Wilder was a very fun fight too. Granted, it was pretty sloppy as well, but point is, it was very entertaining. That one seemed to me maybe more once back and forth even than this one here. But I can see why they would throw this in there, but I'm not sure if I agree with that. It's a fun fight, and maybe we still got what 7 more months to go in the year to see what other ones might land on that list. But I don't know if I throw that up there.
It's early. It should be a lot more fights down the year.
Yeah, and heavyweight fights in particular. All right. So, as I mentioned on the beginning of the show, on the undercard of this fight, I'm not sure if it was the co-main event or the one before that one, but David Morrell suffered a very, very shocking upset loss to Zach Chelly, if I'm pronouncing it properly. Now, if I remember correctly, David Morrell was supposed to be fighting Callum Smith, one of the Smith brothers, right? The light heavyweights. And Smith got injured. I think this fight was supposed to take place on a different card, and then they ended up putting it on this card. I don't remember the specifics but I remember that Morrell was supposed to fight Callum Smith, and Callum Smith got injured, or for whatever the hell reason wasn't able to fight. So they put in this guy, Zach Chelly, another English fighter. And damn, what a fucking upset. I mean, early on, and you know what, man, the commentators were really like, they were buttering up David Morrell big time. They're like, he is marvelous to watch, and talking about how when he gets in the ring and it's so fun to watch and everything like that. And it's fun to watch Morrell, but damn, in the last round, which this fight went 10 rounds. In the last round, Chelly ends up knocking Morrell out on his feet up against the ropes. And funny enough, after the fight, I think after the card entirely, I'm not sure if it's directly after the fight or after the whole card had ended, they showed some highlights of him warming up in the locker room, throwing that overhand right like that, just like putting in some hot heat behind it. And man, Morrell, when he fought Benavidez, it was both his and Benavidez' debut at 175, and it didn't look like Benavidez was ever able to hurt him. So I thought, okay, well, he's got enough of a chin, and then he gets dropped in one of his next fights. I forget which one. He ultimately wins, but he ends up getting dropped and then getting knocked out here. I don't know. It seems like maybe he was just not the same after the Benavidez fight. I'm not sure what might have happened there, or maybe it's just too much too soon, because there was, he is still very young and in his boxing career, I might say. So ultimately, Morrell got stopped. Andrew, when you were watching this fight here, I mean, I know it was a shocker to everybody, but damn, did you think Morrell would ever get done like this?
No, but he was. How do you say it? No, I guess you got to say no, but he was getting hit a lot at the end of that fight. The young man was definitely coming on. You know what I mean? Because the tides were changing, and you seen the commentators start saying it. They were talking about him landing more. But I guess no, not that kind of ending, right? Out on your feet, asleep, fight over instantly, and possibly a career. Morrell has 2 defeats now. We know in boxing, we don't like seeing the guys with a lot of defeats, right? They get questioned real early. Morrell hasn't made it out of the prospect rankings yet. He hasn't even become a champion. He has 2 losses. So his next fight, he's got to take real careful now, because it could be it for him, as at least as far as being on a major card, being a main event, getting paid. money you can live on.
Right.
Get another loss, you're going to be getting a day job, and boxing is now a hobby.
Right. And in the fashion that he lost, getting knocked out like that, he's got the Benavidez one was a decision. Okay, so be it. But the fight after he gets dropped, he comes back and he wins. But right off the bat, you're seeing it in that second fight getting hit. And then in this fight here, on those latter rounds, he starts getting hit. I mean, I think he was hurt actually, if I remember correctly, at the second half of that fight. He was like stumbling, So I was like, oh shit, he's in trouble. But he recovered, and I thought, okay, he's fine now. But man, that what a way to come in as I don't know if it's like 2 weeks. I forget what kind of notice they gave him, but anyway, but it was very short notice to come in here and pull off a victory over somebody like David Morrell. It really, if Morrell is still in that topic, like you're saying, of like contender, but not really like champion, man, this sets him back like a motherfucker, right? Like he goes really back to the end of the line, not just because of the loss, but in the fashion the way he lost.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And when we were watching that fight, I told Junior, I said, man, Morrell's gonna have to hit a brick wall to lose this. He's really gonna have to hit a brick wall. And look in the last round, did he not? I said, my son wasn't even watching, and I called Junior, get over here. Like he just hit a fucking wall. He just hit a wall. Like that, this thing is over. It's like, oh, I couldn't believe it. He won what 9 rounds in 2 minutes and 15 seconds of that fight, or wherever they ended it. He was winning all the way up to that point, man. And then just fucking gets knocked out. Because even if the guy was coming back, it was still Morrell's fight. It was his fight to lose by knockout in that round. And that's exactly what he did. I was like, fuck. Yeah, it's not a good start to his what was supposed to be his new career, right? Stepping up, facing the champ. Now you face the champ. Now you're on the, at least you have more experience kind of run. Well, you take another defeat. Now what are you on?
Yeah, and there goes the Smith fight. I mean, like we were all hoping. Well, at least I was when I heard that this fight was going to happen. David Morrell and Callum Smith. I'm like, oh shit, that's a good one. I'm down for this. These guys are going to throw down, and there goes that. I mean, because I was thinking like, all right, Morrell's going to get past this one, and then at some time in the near future, they're going to reschedule his fight with Callum Smith, and nope. I mean, not after this. I mean, this is the kind of KO that gives you, a 6-month suspension. So that ain't going to happen anytime soon. And who the hell knows by this point if Callum Smith is even interested in this fight anymore? It's like, well, he got knocked the fuck out. What the hell's the point of that? I'll fight this Chelly dude instead. Might as well. And it's kind of funny. Me and my pops were watching it. Right, I was working, of course. So I was watching it in my room while my dad's watching in the living room, and like they weren't synced. So like I heard the shit happening over there before I saw it on my TV. I was like, oh, what the fuck's going on? And then I realized that what happened. I was like, fuck. And then my dad comes a few minutes later, knocks on my door. He's like, what I tell you? What I tell you? Like, yeah, I know that. Oh boy. But it was a fun card overall, right? I mean, when I was. At first, I kind of didn't like the morning events, coming from the UK or anywhere for that matter. I kind of didn't like that. But when there's fights later on that evening too, I'm like, I'm down with that. Back in the day, they used to air. So whenever we'd have like UFC cards, I'd have people come over to my house, and sometimes they'll have them in the morning from the UK. And I'm like, yeah, well, this sucks. Now my weekend is fucking, unless there was some fights later on that weekend, of course. But usually it's like, damn. But it's kind of cool now that it's like, all right, there's more than one card on the same day. We get to watch some morning boxing and then some in the evening, which unfortunately didn't happen because Angelo Leo's opponent didn't make weight, and that fight. I mean, the card still took place, but the main event. I forget the guy. His last name is Alim. I can never pronounce the first name. Let me see if I can get it here. Rais Alim. Yeah, I guess he weighed in at 2.8 pounds, 2.8 over the 126-pound featherweight limit. And Angelo Leo was like, yeah, fuck that. It ain't happening. So decided to scrap the fight. The card still went on with a different main event, of course, but there's less interest in that. Kind of sucks. I was looking forward. And the reason I even brought Angelo Leo up last week was because of the possibility of Inoue moving up to 126 and me thinking he's going to be the first guy that he's going to go after. But now, that's not, at least we didn't get a chance to see Angelo Leo to maybe gauge it a little bit better to see whether or not Inoue would want to fight him first. Maybe he will anyway, who knows? But it would have been nice to see him, back in the ring, Angelo Leo, and get some rounds in there. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And so he gets to keep his IBF featherweight title longer. And then I'm not sure what happens with this Alim dude, but unfortunately, there goes his chance at a championship. All right. Take a look at my thing. All right, cool. So, yes, there was more boxing this weekend. Sunday, Mother's Day. Zuffa decided to throw a card on Mother's Day because he figured, yeah, nobody's going to be out and about on Mother's Day celebrating that shit. No, everybody's going to be at home watching TV, right? No. I don't know. Again, we still don't know the numbers, right? They don't let us know that stuff. But in the main event of Zuffa, the Zuffa card, Zuffa or ZB06, their sixth card, Shane Mosley defeated Sari Boachuk, if I can pronounce that name properly, by sixth round TKO. Now, I've seen Boachuk fight before. Brandon Adams, I've seen him fight. Brandon Adams, and Virgil Ortiz, so we're familiar with him, right? And he fought them at 154 pounds because there is no 154-pound division in Zuffa. Basically, the middleweight division is the next one up. So this fight took place at middleweight. Shane Mosley is a big dude. Shane Mosley has fought at super middleweight even. So fighting at middleweight seemed like it was. Maybe he was stronger. I don't know. We talked about the effects of weight cutting on the last week's show, so we don't know if, maybe it doesn't affect him. Maybe he does feel stronger at middleweight, and maybe super middleweight is too much. But he's fought up there. He's felt the power of a super middleweight Mosley. I'm talking about. So middleweight should have been cake, and it looked like Boachuk just didn't have an answer for him. Mosley came away with a victory, sixth round TKO, improving his record to 22-5 with 12 KOs. So 5 losses, and I know, and even after the fight, they bring it up to him all the time about how he wants to make a name for himself and he wants to, separate himself and do something, but he's 35. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be far be it for me to tell anybody that they should quit and give up, but we're talking about a young man's sport here. I'm not sure. I guess. You said this before, Andrew. I guess it makes sense when these guys sign with Zuffa. They probably won't have any other major prospects or any major chances of fighting for major world titles elsewhere. So they might as well grab the bag with Zuffa, even if it means giving up a lot of your rights, which they do. Oddly enough, one of those things is tattoos. Apparently, when you sign with Zuffa, they have a say on your tattoo, so you can't get a tattoo without letting them know first. But Mosley has quite a few of them already.
Without permission, not letting them know.
Oh, there you go. Without permission. There you go. Yeah.
That's weird, dude.
That's and look, I've heard that from WWE, oftentimes having to do with action figures and having to update action figures. People do it on deliberately so they can have a new action figure and have more money. To do it low key, right? That's just WWE style. But anyway, for this to happen here, they're basically moving that model over here, and we'll be talking about Zuffa here momentarily. But before we get to that, Andrew, what do you think of Shane Mosley's performance over victory over Boachuk?
Oh shit! I didn't watch it.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry. It was fucking Mother's Day. What the fuck? And I didn't watch the replay because I don't give a shit about Shane Mosley because of things that you just said. He's 35 years old and he has 5 defeats, dude. Pass. It's a hard pass for me, bro. I'm glad he won. Glad his dad got to stand up and cheer for him. Cool. And you're right. He's gonna make a few checks over there that he'll never make anywhere else. For Zuffa, you paid the little guy. Max can go jerk off somewhere. The little guy's making money. Whatever. That's all it was, Miguel. That's all we've seen. I think they wanted Boachuk to win. To be honest with you, what are they going to do with the 35-year-old who's already has 5 defeats, never made it out of anything? Do you know how bad you have to be to have 5 defeats at Mosley's ranking, where he's at? Lee would be drilling this dude, bro. This is supposed to be. He should have went like 30-0. Right? You're Mosley Jr. You had the golden boy behind you. You had your dad behind you. You come out of that with 5 defeats, and I'm supposed to stay home on Mother's Day? Or not only that, watch a replay? I'm definitely not watching a replay of Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. Knock me if you want. I don't give a shit. If that's the level of fighting they're putting out there, I'm not tuning in. I'm not, bro. I'm not scared of. It's not even that I'm not scared of Zuffa. Zuffa isn't doing anything for me. I'm not a fucking fanatic like that where I'm like, oh, I'm just at home doing nothing, so I'm gonna watch these 2 fucking nobodies throw down and say it's entertainment. Not doing it. They don't have any talent right now. They sound like they're signing guys, yet we're getting no fucking news of when this first big-ass Zuffa with their big-ass signings. I'm not talking about this shit they're doing on Sundays. Let's see, what are you guys doing with Edgar Berlanga? What are you doing with Hitchinson? Hitchens, right? Hitchens, yes, I get you, guy. Hitchens. What are we doing with these guys? When are we going to announce like, is Berlanga really still putting out music? Did you see what he sent Shiraz?
Yeah, I did see that.
Sir, bro. Shiraz is over there using your tweets as clowning you. It's you sending him shit that he's using against you, bro, and it's funny because you do look like a loser. What the fuck are you texting some dude that knocked you out your song for? He goes, hey, I'll have you walk me out if you get 1 million views. What the fuck, dude? I thought you signed 100 million. Why don't you take your ass to a fucking gym?
Yeah. Mm. Oh, wait, hold on. You were live there. I couldn't tell what you were saying.
Oh, shit. Hey, am I lying?
No, you're not lying. No.
Go to a fucking gym, dude. Everyone's saying you're making $10 million a fight. Maybe it's $50 million. $10 million a fight. You got a 6-fight deal, five fight deal. Go to a gym. Fucking music. You got Fat Joe. Is that Fat Joe? Yeah, it's Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Fat Joe pretending he likes your shit. That's so fucking forced. It was sad. Just the whole thing's sad. I don't know, dude. So yeah, I want to know what Zuffa's doing already. No, I did not watch the fight. I would have if I was home, but I wasn't. So I moved on with my life, and there's nothing there that's like, oh, I literally got to watch Mosely when I get home.
So he didn't set the middleweight division on notice?
Yeah, no, he didn't put nothing. Dude, I won't lie. I got a text about it, though.
Oh, yeah.
So Zuffa's got that going for them. There's somebody out there watching.
And, I kind of have a question about this. I don't. Maybe I'm not. I guess I should know. I don't know. But we know that Zuffa's trying this amendment to the Ali Act, right? We know about that, right? And that's so they can work things in the boxing world the way they do in the UFC world. Well, that hasn't passed yet. That's still in the process of doing it. And as a matter of fact, according to what I've seen, there might be like the first pushback from USA Boxing, but it looks as though that's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to change it so they can run it like the UFC, but they haven't done it yet. So these fights that they're holding at the Meta Apex, these fights that they're having now, they're basically doing it under the current process, right? I mean, I guess so. I mean, am I wrong there? Like, they haven't passed the Ali Act, so that means they haven't run shit the way they want to. So the fights that they're throwing right now are under the current, no. I mean,
they're under the current boxing rules, yes. And not only that, Opatai is not a world champion anymore.
Yeah, well, on top of that, yeah. But that's it seems as though they got the boxing cards going before they got anything passed. So it's like we're talking about what they could potentially do in the future while they're running cards right now that aren't doing shit really. But
you had talked about USA Boxing coming out against them, right?
Yeah.
Then we heard Roy Jones come out against them this week, talking about you have to kiss their ass to get a fight, and then Dana respond with, "When do we ever do that?" When that's all you ever hear in the UFC is how much you have to ass kiss Dana to get anything done, right? It's so fucking weird how Dana tries to sit up there and act like motherfuckers don't listen to UFC fighters. I'm sorry if I'm cussing you guys, but yeah, I shouldn't. But you know what I'm saying though? It's like weird. It's like, bro, is anyone else in the room watching the same shit that I'm watching? Are we really believing this? Daniel's like, what? Me? Huh? What did I do? We treat everyone like athletes. No, you don't. They just said you guys have the worst pay scale in all of fucking professional sports. The fuck are you talking about? And we're supposed to just sit here and buy this shit. No, I'm not. And thank you, Roy Jones, for coming out and saying it how it is. What made me shocked was I was like, doesn't Roy get paid by UFC Fight Pass?
I know he used to. I don't know if he still does.
I
mean, I'm not sure if he still puts on Roy Jones Jr. boxing cards on the UFC Fight Pass. But I mean, again, even though they are, if that is the case, they're still running under the current system, so it's not like it's under this new Ali Act anyway. So, I mean, at that point, it's like, oh, fuck it, then I'll leave the fight pass, whatever. It's not a big deal. I want to bring this up because I happened to seen it. This dude, Tyson Lee, is stepping down as chairman of USA Boxing. He goes online. He says it, as after careful consideration, I made the decision to step down as chairman. I'm incredibly proud of what we've accomplished together. USA Boxing is stronger today financially, operationally, from a membership standpoint than any time in history. So there's this Twitter account or X account that I follow called Fight Opinion, and they respond to this saying, we will have an extensive behind the scenes discussion at the MMA draw, that's the name of the show, soon about the first real pushback to Nick Khan and the Muhammad Ali American Boxing Revival Act at USA Boxing. The first domino has fallen. That's a pretty cryptic message, right? But it's almost saying like, yo, finally there's somebody pushing back and saying, oh shit, yeah, we're not just in your back pocket and we're going to proceed. I don't know if this guy Tyson Lee is cool with TKO and the peeps at Zuffa, and the fact that him stepping down is like, oh shit, something's going on. But they're going as far as to calling this a civil war at USA Boxing. Whether it has anything to do with this, I'm not entirely sure, because I'm trying to read these articles, but they're behind a paywall, so I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay to read these damn articles. But regardless, point is, from what I'm reading here, it looks as because of USA Boxing and the civil war, quote unquote, that's taking place there, that's the first pushback that Zuffa and Nick Khan are receiving as far as this Revival Act or the amendment. So it looks like finally somebody, the right people, I guess, put their foot down and said, yeah, this isn't going any further, at least not yet. Whether or not it goes any further, we'll find out in due time. But it seems as though they, meaning Zuffa, Nick Khan, TKO, are finally receiving some sort of kickback on this, or pushback, I should say. So that means something. But yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying, Andrew. When are we going to get the fights, right? These fights, and every time that supposedly Zuffa is part of a fight, right, with Conor Benn and supposedly Crawford and Canelo, we don't see the Zuffa logo anywhere. We don't see that anywhere. I mean, maybe we see Sella, which has to do with Turkey. Riyadh, of course, has to do with Turkey, but we don't see the Zuffa logo. So when are we going to get, supposedly
Zuffa card?
Yeah, no, but Stevenson. Oh yeah, Shakur Stevenson, right? You sent me these videos of the post-fight after the Zuffa card on Sunday, the press conference where Dana White has asked these questions. One in particular being, he claims he's going to be promoting what fight was it that he said it was going to be promoting that they said that he said he's promoting, but everyone else
Fury.
Joshua Fury. So Joshua Fury, right? And somebody asked him like, all right, where's the fight taking place? And he kind of was like, didn't have an answer. He was stuck, and he was looking around. He's like, should we? And he's like, let me get back to you on that one. Almost saying like, let me ask the real people in charge for the answer, and then I'll have an answer for you. But it happened also with Shakur Stevenson, right? He acted very strangely when he's asked about it. He doesn't really know how to answer it. It's once more. I guess we can use the example of Oscar De La Hoya at the hearing. Somebody that didn't do their book report, and he doesn't know what the fuck to answer, and he's kind of at the podium answering these questions that he doesn't know the actual answers to. It looked like he was in some serious trouble. Ultimately, he kind of bails on asking those questions. It says, you'll hear more eventually. Even going as far as to say, yeah, this is the direction we're going into 2027. Even though last year, even and earlier this year, they're talking about 2026 being the biggest fucking thing. I'm trying to connect the dots. Maybe this pushback that I'm hearing, that I'm reading online, has to do with why he doesn't have the answers, or one of the reasons why he doesn't have the answers. But Andrew, I want to hear your 2 cents on this. We talked about how he looked at the press conference, not knowing how to answer these questions. Sound off.
Yeah, it all might be connected, though. Ted Cruz is the one that told them at the end of their last meeting that he wanted to make up his own Senate version of the House passed bill. Any changes to this bill is not Zuffa's baby anymore, right? So is that so could they take that as a loss? Like, fuck, man, he just said he's gonna change it. Like he's
Well,
like,
I guess
yeah,
it depends what it is they're changing, right? I mean,
exactly.
if it's something stupid like it's the tattoo shit, if this that like, oh fuck, okay, fine, I mean, obviously that's pretty insignificant. But if it's something else, more importantly, than saying like, yeah, we can't approve this UBO bullshit, then maybe they're fucked.
Yeah, because he talked about he knows things are broken. He wanted to make the sanctioning bodies. There's too many sanctioning bodies. So what if he creates his own bill? Doesn't even look at the one they passed, right? Creates his own little boxing world and says, here, take it or leave it, or we're fucking done here. Moving on. Another thing people got to think about is that political talk for we don't really give a shit. See you guys later. A year can go by. Oh, yeah, I haven't done that bill yet.
Yeah, right? It goes to the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, exactly. 2027's here. Oh yeah, I'll call you. I forgot. Yeah, I'm still working on that. Yeah, we're drafting it up right now.
Dusting that shit off. Like, what was it again? You guys want to work at Chuck E. Cheese? What were you guys gonna say? I forgot.
So it was that political talk for brushing that under the rug and getting it out of their hair, right? We'll get back to you. And Dana already knows. Fuck.
Yeah.
They would have passed it. They would have passed it right then and there. So who knows?
Especially how quickly it had gotten to this point to begin with. That's what a lot of people were talking about, how fast it kind of just skipped through people submitting the shit late at night and stuff, and then just passing the next fucking morning. And this is the first major hurdle, I think.
Yeah, and then when they went to the Senate, freaking De La Hoya, drops the ball. The other guy's talking WWE. He's like putting out his wish list that he wants from TKO to sign the thing, right? So we kind of thought it was going to get past that day. Ted Cruz had interesting words, though. He wants to look into it. That's something they don't want anyone looking into anything. You sign and do what they say, or or it's a loss in their eyes. No, Miguel, I've been telling you for a while, and I'm not scared of them is not the thing. Because look, if Zuffa plays ball, I'm all in. They've already shown their true colors on what they thought of the MMA. I'm dead serious. They didn't even give a shit that the MMA got mad at them. Matter of fact, their owner rubbed it in their face. Did you see? And I don't know if it's a new. Well, it has to be because it talks about his pay raise, and that just happened. Did you see that son of a bitch did the Muhammad Ali photo on the MMA magazine? That Ari guy, the Epstein guy. That's another thing.
Oh yeah,
Epstein Files guy doesn't have to
Ari
step
Emanuel,
down.
CEO of TKO. Yeah,
doesn't have to step down, Miguel. When you're sending emails.
His name was mentioned in them. I don't know. Are they ever going to release them?
Sending them,
huh?
I thought it was him sending. It wasn't him.
Well, maybe it is. But what they are is I'm not sure if that's been disclosed.
I think he was thanking them for girls. But either way, I ain't gonna get started on it. It just whoever seems attached to it, I thought got canceled, right?
Yeah.
You got Dana slapping fucking his wife in a club. You got the other dude attached to one. Oh, anyways, I'm getting off track. This motherfucker, bro. See how I did that? He went from son of a bitch to
this asshole dickhead.
Every time I bring him up, it's a different one. No, he did the Muhammad Ali pose, dude, where he has all the money in the bank. Bro, like right in their face. Right in their face, Miguel. You ever seen Don King and Top Rank do that? Like, maybe they were robbing guys. All right? I'm not saying they weren't.
Yeah.
But did they put it in your face like that?
Maybe Don King did. I don't know about bothering him, but Don King.
Don might have some money like this. You're saying.
Yeah. I mean, all that jewelry, the bling. I mean, basically all that shit. Those. I'm sure at some point but still, your point is made.
Yeah, I don't know if that was sitting on the bank though. Hey, but whatever. It was weird. They've shown their true colors. So I don't give a fuck. These guys can come to boxing and give everyone millions of dollars. Cool for us. We get to talk about everyone making a lot more money now. Great. That Zuffa for 25 grand, no one's going to have an O and all that. Come on. That's all bullshit, bro. No one bought in. Now you're seeing USA Boxing's going against it. You're seeing Roy Jones go against it. You're seeing all the promoters go against it. No one's giving in. The trainers half of these guys are like me. They're the dads. We all watch boxing. We know what's going on. We all watch the MMA. We know what's going on. We all watch that your numbers are falling. Sorry. The sport is dying. It's not growing. There's evidence of that all the time. And it might peak on Saturday with the MVP MMA thing going out. Dana better be nervous. Paramount hasn't released the Strickland Chimaev numbers. Yeah. Do you think they robbed him, or did he deserve to win, Strickland?
Because it was a close fight, I don't think it matters which direction it went. The fact that Strickland was getting, he was getting taken down. I think it should have gone to Chimaev, if I'm pronouncing it right. I think it should have gone to him because of the takedowns. Granted, he wasn't able to do much with them yet, but while you're taking the dude down, the guy's defending, he's on defense, you're on offense, that should go to you, I'm thinking.
Chimaev got in trouble, and he doesn't have the same, well, some would say skin complexion. I'll be politically correct and say power as one Dana White, or what's the owner's name? Army what? What's his name?
Ari Emanuel.
Ari. I'll just call him Ari Emanuel. He don't have the same power, but I heard he has a strike against him on violence against women. That are they Muslim? They're Muslims, right? Yeah, Muslim.
He is. I want to say he's Muslim. Yeah.
Yeah. So the UFC had to take it away from him. They're saying.
Yeah, that if we're gonna get Justin Gaethje get laid out on the White House lawn, the American that's gonna go after the belt, gonna get laid the fuck out, at least hand the belt to another American and give it to Strickland. I can see the direction they're going there, but I think Chimaev probably should have eked it out. But there's a lot of shit going on about Chimaev, about the weight cut, about him hopping on the scale and like the scale not even being fucking balanced, and it's just like, that was that bullshit.
It never. You can clearly see it, bro.
Right. So
it sounds like the commentators wanted to say it. They were like, at first, one of them's like, oh shit, we're not saying nothing. But he clearly wanted to call it out, dude.
Yeah, it was one of those like, I'm gonna raise my never mind, fuck shit, I'm not gonna say anything. Exactly. Yeah, it was one of those, but I understand. It was a close fight. When close fights are, when fights are that close and it goes in either direction, I don't think for me it doesn't matter too much who wins it because of how close it was. Really, it was that close.
You do know though that if this was Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather, we would have heard about that on ESPN. That's a fixed fight, bro. I'm sorry. When the commission looks past the guy overweight, because look, everyone knows that their Paramount numbers are so bad, they could not lose this fucking main event. They couldn't. They could not replace this guy with some fucking dickhead on a 24-hour notice. Dude, the viewership and fight, was it 2 or 3? They're in their new Paramount deal. Their first one did 5 million. It's either the next huge main event pay-per-view, not their little fight night. Yeah. It was the big one. Did 2.5 million, half. You come back with Strickland and how you say his name?
Chimaev.
Jesus. Yeah. Chimaev. You come back with that one and lose it on the scale, you're fucked. You're looking really bad at Paramount right now. So they fixed the fight. What the fuck? You think boxing get away with that?
I don't think he would have. Because if he doesn't make the weight, what normally happens in boxing? The fighter loses the belt on the scale and then go to the opponent and say, "Hey, do you want to fight anyway?" I don't think Strickland would have said no. I think the fight would have gone on anyway, but the belt would have been up for grabs only for Strickland.
Then why didn't they do that?
Won. Oh, I don't know. Good question. I don't know. I think they were hoping that he keeps the belt and he defends it because he's talked about going up to light heavyweight in the near future, yada, yada. So they were hoping maybe they can keep his undefeated record intact with the belt. He drops it, moves up to light heavyweight with an undefeated record, I'm thinking.
It didn't even go viral. I don't know. I think the writing's on the wall. So I'm not scared of Zuffa. I'm not scared of and I like Turkey because Turkey pays our guys really good. That's all I keep hearing. They're making 100 million. They're making 50 million. They're making 16 million a fight. 2 guys, Haney and freaking Ben, both made 16 million in one night. So cool. I'm not going to hate on that. You know what I mean? They want to go broke. Go broke. I won't call it a good business decision. I'll go on record saying that. You know what I mean? You're not going to make your money back on Lopez if you signed him at $50 million for 5 fights. You're not going to make your money back on Berlanga if you signed him at $50 million for 5 fights. You're not going to make your money back on Haney if you signed him for 5 fights at $100 million. You're not going to make your money back on
Shakur.
Well, we will see.
All right,
bro. I like how Dana then
because he looked more positive on the Shakur part than really the Fury Joshua part. That one, he said he turned it. He's like, should we let them like almost like he was in on that one. That one seems more legit. The Fury Joshua one seems like he's completely out of the fucking loop.
To that to a certain yeah, because he goes, did we announce it yet? Meaning like it was already being ready.
Mm-hmm.
What are we waiting for? It's a signing of a fighter. Why don't we announce some fights already?
And multiple fighters. We're hearing Teofimo, we're hearing Shakur, we're hearing Devin. 3 top dudes with worth going to be possibly worth a lot of money. And the fact that they're waiting this long to announce it, like I don't understand what the point of waiting this long for. It's like if it's news that you can break and you can disclose it, dude, I'd be on my fucking social media ASAP. But for whatever reason.
I sent you that post about what the wind did over there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? All right, dude. Well, maybe that's why Dana's looking to the side going, can we announce it yet? Maybe contracts are like filled out, but money isn't in escrow yet or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they haven't got the final signature yet. The one that matters. Because it break you guys in on me and Miguel's inside joke there. The Wynn Casino, I guess, abandoned a grand opening over there in the Middle East. A $5 billion casino, dude, which blows my mind, Miguel. Like, why are we even making $5 billion casinos in the Middle East? I thought they don't gamble. I thought it was like up with the head. Like, who's lying to us, bro? I feel like I'm being lied to again. Like, they party like fucking animals over there, and I don't know about it, and I need to go. I know.
Like the underground seems to be partying like the kind of clubs you see on the fucking Blade movie or some shit. Like you walk in there and it's like, is this where the gambling is? Is this because supposedly out here you can't even show your fucking face sometimes. So, but yet they have these damn brothels or whatever the fuck it is they're having over there.
Yeah, $5 billion into the building. I mean, that's a lot of money to invest in somewhere that I thought hated gambling and death to all infidels or whatever they always
and alcohol. I have to assume they're serving now. I mean, they will assume alcohol. Like for them to be that strict, and to be in this fucking den of sin kind of thing, that Las Vegas is. But we're taking that to their fucking country along with drinking. I'm not driving, but drinking. Of course, they're going to want them to drink so they can gamble more. Duh, that's just kind of common sense. I doubt they'd have a dry casino there.
And this wasn't even the casino in Saudi Arabia. There's another one being built in Saudi Arabia. So this is 2 casinos now that they're opening over there. It's just, I didn't even know they did stuff like that. But either way, that's why we're talking about it, you guys, because Dana doesn't even know who the fuck he can announce is signed or not. We're hearing about guys being signed, but we're not seeing anything finalized. And really, to break Dana's words down, you guys, 3-4 weeks ago, he told us 2 weeks. So the dude is throwing out, give me a year, give me until the end of 26, give me until 27. That is so fucking funny that now 27 came out of his mouth. You guys can literally see that in the Zuffa post-fight press conference. Yeah. The guy is now talking about 2027, and he's stumbling. He's biting his lip. He's saying fucking Warren is right. He's like, yeah, I'm not the promoter if he said it. Bro, got put in your place. Like,
right.
You're getting slapped around right now. The body language, the uncertainty of answering questions with confidence. Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. I wanted to kick off already because they seem like they're signing all the guys, right? That's what everyone keeps saying. So let's announce a fight card here soon and see where we're going.
A major fight card, not this.
Oh yeah, no.
No, you're not looking forward to next week's or next year's or next month. I'm trying to remember who will main event the card next month, but anyway.
To be honest with you, I was into the Opatai one. You know what I mean? He's undefeated. He was a champ. So to me, that was a good signing by those guys. I didn't know he was fucking only making 100,000 a fight under Eddie. You know, I didn't know he was that type of champ. I thought they were making a little bit more money than that. So obviously, you know, that's why he went to Zuffa. But I was interested in the fight. I watched the fight. You know, it just sucks what happened to him after that fight, and now it's kind of uncertainty of what's going to happen because you heard Benavidez say 2 years. I mean, that's a big ass timeline to drop on someone. You know what I mean? Now I won't think about you for 2 years. Like, well, fuck you too. Jeez. So you know, and then you seen Opatai come out and double down on social media this week, right? He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah."
You heard Dana. He said any fight can be made.
That's right. That's right.
I'm sure. Oh, well, damn, I had something else I wanted to bring up in regards to that. But, oh, yeah, Eddie Hearn even has thrown his 2 cents, calling out Dana, saying he's a clout chaser for just saying that shit. It's just like he's just spewing this stuff out at this point. And, you know, when put what was it? When put to scrutiny, he's kind of like, should we? Yeah, well, I'll get back to you on that kind of thing. It's like, man, stop. You're making it. You're totally proving the other guy's right. Like especially Frank Warren. But I also do remember Eddie Hearn coming out and calling Dana White a clout chaser because of what he's saying. Supposedly him promoting these fights when in fact he isn't.
Yeah, he came here talking all badass. Eddie Hearn got some kind of health update on Dana and then pulled that card too. Started calling him a bitch. Dana just walked away. You know, I don't know, man. It's been a good 2 weeks for TKO. I mean, look, yeah, I'm gonna call it Dana White because I like kicking him when he's down, but it's turkey. This whole thing is turkey. TKO seems like they invested into the company, but with the one guy owning 60%, he's got the final say every time. That's shake and bake. You got to put up that scene. And he goes, "Can I win just once?" And he goes, "Well, if you win, how do I win? Don't ever say that again." That's what they tell.
Hey, do you think you can swing me around one time? It's like, but if you go in first, how was like, yeah, I should have about that.
That's how Turkey talks to those guys every single time, Miguel.
Oh boy. But yeah, that's I don't know. I'm let's see what happens with these signings. Supposedly Teofimo, supposedly Devin. I hope after here, and look, we kind of already knew this was the case, but when I finally hear other people talk about it, and not Oscar's coked ass head, but Roy saying these things, saying like, yo, everybody, like, people are catching on. People should know. Be very careful when you sign with these guys. The people that do are idiotic. When he goes on this rant like that, like, I hope that shakes some sense into people. The people that know. I mean, it almost seems like everybody that talks positive about TKO and Zuffa are employed by them, really, so they kind of have to talk nice about them. Everyone else is talking mad shit because, I mean, they're spewing the truth, and I like hearing Roy to go off like that because I hope it, if nothing else, it shakes some sense into the younger guys to not go over there. I get the position that they're in, that they're like, yo, I'm coming up. These boxing cards aren't paying enough. When I sign with Zuffa, it's going to be much more. Yeah, but then it caps off and it has so much more over your shit, so much more control over your career that you're kind of fucked, really. So, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks if there are any announcements of Teofimo or Shakur or Devin or maybe Ryan and Conor Ben. I don't know. I guess it all depends how that goes. But I hope these guys hear Roy's pleas and don't just see the money, because in the long run, it might be bad for them. It might be great for them now with the millions right now, but in the long run, it won't work out in their favor.
Especially, look, and I'll try to get off here. I know we want to move on, but Dana also talked about people were lying about the money fluctuating, I guess.
About losing and not getting paid as much.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a huge that's a huge loss for Turkey if that isn't true, because to me, that's how he was, covering his bases, right? He's like, just don't lose, or I get all my money back. That makes sense. I was like, that's a contract I see Turkey making. You're really gonna pay Berlanga $50 million if he loses his next fight by lockout? You're really gonna go ahead and throw down another $45 million on this kid?
And that's even like the Devin Haney rumor as well, that this contract that is worth $100 million as long as he wins. Because when he doesn't, like, people have been saying this shit. I've been reading all over the place. Like, yo, this is based solely on whether your ass keeps winning. Because if it doesn't, obviously it's not worth that much. That clearly means what? He doesn't win, and then he's not gonna get paid as much. That's kind of common sense, no?
And it really does. I mean, at some point, I know we're going to talk about pay-per-view numbers here shortly, but they need to figure that out, because the zone to me is not Netflix or Paramount. The zone you have to pay for. Mm-hmm. I'm going to Reno this weekend again, and I'm going to go watch the fights over there, the MMA.
Oh, okay, the MVP card. Yeah,
I'll give you a live update, see what it looks like, dude.
All right. I mean, mind you, this is on Netflix, so
yes.
they I don't know if the casinos have to pay for that part. I'm not sure.
That's what I'm saying. Right. No, that's what they were saying, Miguel. The lady straight said, if it's on Netflix or Paramount, we're showing it. If it's pay-per-view, I'm not buying it.
Gotcha.
DAZN's pay-per-view, dude.
Yeah.
I need to talk to I'm going to go to the Silver Legacy Caesars Sportsbook, and I'm going to talk to the lady there on what the rules are now on boxing, combat sports, however she wants to give it to me. But if it comes down to, no, we're not doing closed circuit anymore. Everyone needs to get off of closed circuit. UFC has moved to Paramount. UFC does great numbers for our sports book. We're going to stick with that. If Jake Paul's fighting, we'll put him, because you know that he does the biggest numbers for boxing. If Jake Paul's fighting, we'll put him on it because it's on Netflix. But we're not doing closed circuit anymore. I'm bringing that shit back here because that's our number one enemy. Our number one enemy is we're not in the sports book anymore. That was our views. Miguel, there was so many people that used to bet on boxing, closet fucking gamblers in boxing, dude. When they did those closed circuits, I used to see thousands of fucking people go to these things, bro. I'm talking numerous casinos having them, all of them selling major tickets. I have been in the ballrooms where they told us 2,500 were in this room. There's another 2,500 down at that conference room. Like, they were selling major tickets to these things. Those were all considered pay-per-view buys, bro. Every time you spent $80, you guys, to watch a fight in Las Vegas, that was your pay-per-view buy, was $80. Why do you think our numbers are so low now when we're not? Look, my thing is, if Reno don't want to give us action, then why aren't we going to Indian casinos?
Yeah.
There's hella more people in Indian casinos than there are in Reno right now. I'm sorry, but I see it every weekend. No, I'm not that bad of a gambler. Every other weekend. Maybe once a month. My mom might listen.
I see it twice a week, guys. I mean, every couple of months, you know.
So, anyways, but no, reach out. Maybe the promoters need to start seeing if there's a way they can get these fights linked through because I even can go back to my closed circuit guy. I know he's not in the trade, but I think he still works with someone that is. And see what they're talking about on why is it boxing's not getting into these casinos and what the packages are. Before, it used to be the HBO package. It used to be the Showtime package, right? You would get the fights for the year. We would already know. He would already have a good idea of who HBO was already lining up before these fights were announced. They would go to bars. Bars would be like, yeah, I'd be all over that if they put that fight together. And then they take that shit back to HBO, the promoters, and they all start saying, hey, we got a hot one. We've got fucking, 22,000 bars across America said they would pay for this fight if we sign this. What do you think the fighters are doing? They're signing it, right? Yeah. So we need to get back into that. That's our number one problem right now. So I don't give a shit if we're fighting on fucking DAZN, if we're fighting on PBC. If we're on pay-per-view, it's a fucking problem for boxing right now, and we got to figure that out.
All right. Anything else we want to add to that before we go into the next conversation?
No, sir.
All righty. So, since we're talking about Zuffa and who they're signing, there is a legendary boxer that is going to be returning to the ring, or at least that's the rumor. Vasiliy Lomachenko, high tech, the Matrix, whatever the fuck you want to call them, no Moschenko, is rumored to be headed back to the boxing ring. Now, we don't know where he's going because technically he's a free agent. He retired, came back one day after or the day of the expiration of his top rank deal, according to Mike Coppinger. So he waited, he retired, I guess, waited out the contract and said, all right, I'm back, Cal. I believe he's 42 now. I want to say, if I want to make sure I get that age right, but there's a lot of rumors of where he might end up. Everybody and their mamas are talking about him potentially fighting Gervonta Tank Davis, which would be pretty tight. We want to see it, right? If he goes to Zuffa, maybe there's where he wants to go because of the money. You know, at this point, he's had a couple of big money fights, a few of them at least, but maybe he's been sitting back, seeing everybody else make these humongous paydays and say, shit, man, I want to get back into this. 38 years old. I take that back. Jesus, I'm over here adding 3 fucking years to his ass. 38. Lomachenko, 38 years old, making a return. He turned 38 in February, so he just turned 38. I don't know what other reason for the comeback would be other than money. Seeing these humongous paychecks, seeing these Netflix cards that maybe he wants to take part of or be part of. If he's going to come back at 135 pounds, that's where he retired. I mean, sometimes I think even when he was a champ at 135, that he probably shouldn't have been fighting at 135 because he probably deserves or should be at 130. So maybe he can still make 135 at this age. He is a very disciplined person, so maybe he didn't, blow up during his time in weight. I mean, during his time away from the ring. But that is the rumor that he's coming back. Whether it's with Top Rank again, probably not. He waited that contract out. PBC or Zuffa. Hell, I mean, the fact that we're even talking to that degree, I guess I think Eddie Hearn said it, if they're going to get their money, just get the fucking money while it's there because it might not be there, for long. So if you're going to go in there and get a piece of the pie, by all means, help yourself. And it looks like Vasiliy Lomachenko is intending to do that if he goes with Zuffa, of course, because we don't know. Maybe he comes back Matchroom. The 135-pound weight class is pretty solid right now. If he can't make 135, it would be pretty stupid to go to Zuffa because Zuffa doesn't have a 140-pound weight class, so he'll have no choice but to go to welterweight, really, 147. And I don't think that's the right choice for somebody with his height and his frame. But Andrew, when you read that Vasiliy Lomachenko is making a comeback one day after or the day of the expiration of his top rank contract expiration, what crossed your mind? What did you think? Oh, this motherfucker needs some money.
No, not that he needs some money. He's just tired of sharing it with Bob Arum. Right?
I see.
Lomachenko's at the point of his career. He needs no promoter. When his fight's announced, all of his fans will watch. So they waited it out. It's kind of fucked up, that I don't like that fighters do it, but hey, every man to their own. He probably has his reasons. He built up his own argument in his own head. So yeah, he outweighted Top Rank. What's that mean, Zuffa? Does that mean PBC, Tank? You know what I think it means? One fight deals. How about that? How about you give me a one fight deal? We'll make some money together, and then I'm moving the fuck on. You know what I mean? So, and if no one wants to give him a one fight deal and pay him what he should be paid, then he stay retired. Hopefully he's not back for money, and he's just back because the pot is a lot bigger without a promoter. That was someone taking, 20% your check, something like that.
His cut of the pot is bigger.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So he was probably like, how much did I get a raise?
Yeah,
I could do 1 or 2 more training camps. Why not?
Like, how much did Barboza get? How much did Murtaya get? Yeah. Sign me up, guys. Yeah.
Usyk might have been,
Oh,
I've made 50 million, brother. 2 fights, but you know what I'm saying? He might have been doing that shit to him. He's like, really?
The turkey. Call turkey. Yeah. I will do that. I'll get on the phone right now.
Now you're saying 130.
No, 135. Well, I think
I know,
oh,
but we're saying, because I'm trying to get to a super fight, right? Inoue's 122.
Yeah.
Still too far. All right. I'm just trying to cover all the bases on why he would be doing this. I don't really know if Tank Davis is the home run without Turkey's money. Dude, the PBC, the pay-per-view numbers aren't fucking what they used to be, man. And right now, Ryan Garcia's looks might have got us that 1.4. I'm sorry. I know I'm being don't want to be a fucking homo or nothing, but it might have been the girls, man.
Maybe Gervonta too. That neck tattoo maybe did it.
But he's had numerous pay-per-views, bro.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's fought in Roach and Cruz and all that after Garcia, and he hasn't hit nothing like he did with Garcia.
Frank Martin, nothing there either.
Yeah. And Garcia kind of just fizzled out. That's why his numbers weren't the same. He's kind of being douchey all over the internet again. He's also he took a defeat that night, quit. A lot of girls don't like quitters, so they probably are like, "Oh, pussy, gotta go." He was close to getting it back. He really was, but then he did the thing with his wife. He's kind of on and off with his wife, and his Instagram is sort of bipolar. I guess what he is. You know, sometimes he's high, sometimes he's low, but he acts like a child. And I don't mean this. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm 46 years old and I'm looking at his social media feed, right?
Sure.
He acts like a child. And I don't know if girls are, the same women that were probably interested in him when he looked like just a model, right? Oh, they're taking snapshots on Instagram. They were probably like, oh my God. But then when you actually listen to him talk and see his demeanor and how he treats people, and you're like, no, he's a child. I'm not fucking boys. So, he fizzled out. So I'm not trusting pay-per-view, dude. I'm really not. I'm only trusting Turkey's money right now. Unfortunately, Turkey hasn't announced anything besides the fights that he had already had on schedule, right? I'm waiting for Berlanga's return, Shiraz's return. Oh no, Shiraz is fighting next weekend.
The 30th, I think.
30th. Well,
no. You're right. The 23rd. Yeah, because the 30th is the Bivol fight. The 23rd is the Usyk and Rico fight. Yeah, so on that one, so the 23rd, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I want to see the new things that are coming out, right? Hitchens fight coming up. What are we doing with Hitchens? What's his first fight going to be? Is it going to be a Regis Prograis type of guy, or is he going to fight Devin Haney? Because some said that was the fight they were going to put. That's a great fight. I gotta be honest with you though, Miguel.
I don't think a moneymaker.
Yes, I don't think America shows up to that just because they put it on.
They'll show up for Devin, but you need the opponent. You need the other opponents, the fans, to show up too. And Hitchens is not the kind of name that you would think that would warrant a big contract fight like that. That would have a big money fight that will get the promoters or whomever in Turkey in the positive money. There's no way. Yeah, he'll give a nice chunk to these guys, but they're not making that money back.
There's no way.
Devin will do his part, bring his people. Hitchens isn't really that well known yet.
Especially if they do it in Riyadh. We're acting like if they do that fight here in the States, but what if they do that over there? No one's going, dude. And I like the fight for us diehards, but no, that's to me, that's Timothy Bradley. Dude, I just forgot his name again.
Devin Alexander.
Devin Alexander. That's that fight all over again, right? Two very young up-and-comers, probably should have gotten more respect than they actually got the night they fought. I thought the fight was going to be bigger, bro. I really thought America was going to show up. Like, no, fuck no, they didn't, So
right.
That's what I see with Hitchens and Haney, just way too premature to put that fight on. So while I would be sort of impressed, like, all right, I'll watch Hitchens, Haney. That's a good fight. I'm not like going to think that that's going to do 1.4 million homes. It's not.
Yeah. I was reading this article that I saw about Loma on ESPN saying His return will be highly anticipated due to the change in the landscape in the lighter weight classes. He has not announced what weight he will return, but he does have plans to compete more than once now that his back issues are seemingly behind him. This article does also specify that he intends to return, according to his manager, Aegis Kilmas, if I can pronounce that right, we are working on his comeback this fall. So we're looking at the last quarter of, or the second to last quarter, I guess, of 2026. So we're rapidly approaching it, right? We're already in the second quarter. So fall means what? Maybe November, October, November, right? So we'll see how that goes, but it looks like it won't happen soon, right? It'll happen in the next few months. So maybe it's going to be a while before we hear what weight class he'll be back or what potential opponent or who he'll fight with. Maybe if it is, like you said, a one fight deal, maybe it is PBC. Maybe he comes back with PBC on the one fight, fight per fight basis kind of thing, and kind of plays his hand as well as he can to collect as many paychecks. Yeah.
If anybody but Turkey is a one fight deal. If Turkey's really given 5 fights, 50 million, 6 fights, 100 million is what they're saying Haney signed for. Fuck that. I'm going with that guy, right? Yeah. Because you got to know off top he's getting a warm-up fight. They're not going to just throw him in with someone hard. Dana would, not Turkey. Turkey's probably going to give him a warm-up fight. So that's one fight down, right? Just hopefully Turkey's, you got to have someone that kind of knows the landscape of boxing, the business side of boxing to write down these contracts, because the money does have to fluctuate a little. It really does, because you can't give a comeback fight the same as, all right, now you're going to fight the champ tonight, right? So it can't be, it's going to be 15 million guaranteed every single fight. It can't. He's going to go broke. That's not boxing. It's not a professional sport. Not everything is sold out. Not every fucking hot dog is sold. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Look at our pay-per-view numbers. We fucking suck right now. Almost said it. But dude, so if I'm Loma, I'm really nervous on the pay-per-view side of boxing. I'm leaning more towards Paramount, which would be Zuffa, or freaking Netflix, man. I don't know if I'm cool with DAZN. I know I've been all gun-ho on DAZN. That was until this whole thing came down last week or 2 weekends ago, because last week was Mother's Day. We weren't in Reno, right? Yeah, it was the weekend before that. So Zurdo and Benavidez.
May 2nd, yeah.
So that's when that happened to me. I got skunked, Miguel. And then not only that, I called sports bars, bro, and they were like, no, we're not showing it because we have to buy it. Mm-hmm. Fuck. That's what I said. I was like, fuck. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh man,
it won't be Netflix. I can damn near guarantee you it won't be Netflix. Netflix isn't interested in these kinds of fights like Lomachenko. They're interested in the big names that will do maybe one night of a fucking humongous number. He's not going to do that.
Well, you don't think him and Tank?
I don't think so. I don't think him and Tank. I think maybe like Tank and Ryan or somebody like that will do those kind of numbers. Tank will bring his people, and mind you, if we're talking Netflix, we're talking no paywall, right? I mean, not a major one, right? Because you do have to pay for the subscription, but no pay-per-view is what I'm saying. That will do some good numbers. I'm not going to say it won't with Tank, but I'm not sure if Lomachenko people will show up. I mean, it might be easier there, but I don't think it's going to be that. I can't imagine that they will bring in the same number of people that, let's say, Crawford Canelo did or any other Jake Paul type fight. That is what Netflix wants, those mega shits. For us, the hardcores, that would be a mega fight. I don't think it'll be for any other person who has a fucking Netflix subscription. I don't think so, at least. Maybe they'll be familiar with Tank. Again, they'll tune in for that. They won't have a clue who the fuck Lomachenko is.
The UK will. Netflix is trying to get big out there. Tank is big in America. That was the only reason why I called that for. I'm trying to help fuckface Al Heyman out on that one.
Right. Which he should have jumped on the bandwagon a long time ago.
Yes. But he needs to get off of pay-per-view, dude. Dude, that needs to be our 2026 goal, is to get boxing back into Caesar's Palace Sportsbook. That's going to be my goal.
Let's sign a petition. Let's
Yeah,
get this goddamn petition going. Crack a liking.
yeah, or just give it to the right promoter about the Indian casinos. We need the casinos back. We can't, bro. You can't get freaking people watching your fight when you have thousands of people every weekend going to the casinos gambling their lives away, and your boxing match ain't even on. There's thousands of people out there. I'm telling you. You heard that Donald Trump says this is a problem in America. He's probably right. He's probably right. Gambling is the end. It's just there's casinos going up everywhere, bro. Like it's kind of crazy right now how many are going up. But there obviously is a demand. So boxing needs to fix that. So yeah, if I'm Lomachenko, I'm looking at Tank and I'm asking Al Heyman to take that shit to Netflix. If I'm doing multiple fights, like he said, which why I think Usyk is the one that got at him about Turkey, what Turkey's doing right now. Then you go to Turkey and you sign a 3-fight deal for fucking 50 million, 45 million, something like that. I don't know. He's a smaller guy. Maybe he gets 20 million because he's smaller. They don't make as much money.
They don't. But here's a curveball for you. One of the topics that I kind of sort of wanted to touch on, but it kind of sort of, was like, I'm not sure if it's even worth talking about, is Jake Paul possibly retiring because of the injury that he sustained, right?
I heard that. Yep.
He was initially trying to fight prior to Anthony Joshua. He was trying to get the fight going with Gervonta, right? A 135-pounder. Well, what if Lomachenko comes back and Devin's like, all right, well, maybe people sort of know who Lomachenko is. Maybe Jake Paul is willing to fight some small dude like that who probably won't fuck up his jaw as much, and he can make a return to fucking Netflix.
Wow.
I just throw that out there because I'm thinking, you know what? Jake Paul said he might not come back. Well, most likely against bigger dudes, but he probably still want to fight the smaller guys. If he at one point had, Gervonta on the radar, why not Lomachenko? Why not, a guy who's a similar weight?
I don't know. Not. I wouldn't tune in for that one. That's
because it's Jake Paul back. We're talking Netflix. We know he does numbers there. I'm not sure if they give two flying fucks who's on the other side of that ring. They could pull those numbers on Netflix with Jake Paul. Whether it's Loma and Tank, I don't think so. But if Jake Paul does that, it's just a curveball there because I'm thinking, well, if he's going to come back and do one-fight deals, that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, shit. He's the promoter of the year if he pulls that off on Netflix.
Right.
I will say I did hear about the possible retirement. Hey, Miguel, we talked about that. I mean, broken in both sides, bro. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, that is a game changer. The guys that continue fighting, I mean, obviously, they have to. Yeah. Hello, it's not like, it healed. It's much stronger now. No, it's always a risk. It's never stronger when it breaks. Right. Both sides. And he said he had fucking one. I love how he's like, and I got one tooth. I still need to put. What did he say? I need a fake tooth put in.
Oh, plant like a crown or something?
No, I didn't say a crown.
An implant.
Implant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's gonna take time. Like, shut the fuck up. You can get that at any time, bro. Just leave it on the two broken jaws, bro. Don't be talking about, I need to get some dentures too, and that's gonna take time if I have to do that. Yeah, shut the fuck up.
It's like,
dude.
We all know how long it takes veneers to heal, okay, guys?
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? It's all the way in the back. You already have a fucking hot ass girl. You ain't fucking hunting nothing right now, so just make your money and shut up. But the doctors are like, fuck no, your jaw can absolutely break again. What the fuck are you talking about? And he's
like, keep my number on speed dial, no problem. Just hit me up again. We'll do this again.
Yeah, you're gonna fight a fucking heavyweight? Of course you're gonna break your fucking jaw again. Kid, you don't know how to fight. Like, I seen you. You did that before the punch came. I seen it. Like, yes, you're gonna get a broken jaw. The fuck?
Yeah.
He's like, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, it's bad enough that it broke, right? It gets repaired. It gets repaired for like normal everyday stuff, like chewing and shit, not getting punched again. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's never gonna be as strong as it was originally, and whatever repair they're doing to it is gonna be so you can function in a normal everyday life, not as a professional prize fighter receiving punches to the jaw.
Hey, talking about broken jaws. Oscar Valdez still has his dinosaur. That's pretty cool. You seen that?
No, no.
The gator, the alligator. He
Oh
still has
yeah.
it. Yeah, it's big as shit and it's big as fuck
Oh
now.
damn. No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's
Holy
pretty
fuck.
cool because I always thought he was gonna get rid of it at a certain age. Nah, this guy's getting old now. He's a big boy. I don't know. He's gonna be feeding that fucker goats here soon. That's where it kind of. Maybe if you feed it, just meat. If you can teach the animal to just eat, the dead and throw some legs and pieces of the goat at a time. But I hate when they feed them live animals. I don't like seeing that. I don't. It's just that's not cool to me. I know it's nature. I get it. Blah blah blah. But it's nature in nature, not like here, fucking. You can't run anywhere. He's gonna eat your ass. it's always.
Yeah.
I watched my friend feed a rabbit to a fucking snake. We got a snake for
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen that before. Yeah.
My friend got a snake for $50. It was a big one too. Yeah, he was big, bro, because it broke the other owner's leg. It broke it.
Oh shit!
It wrapped his leg. Yeah,
and I was like, "Yeah, sure, pay up right now. I'm not paying right now. Give me that."
They carried it to his mom's house. They put it in the doughboy. They put it in the dry pool. The pool is dry, so they put it in there. Fucking, they never got out. And then they kept it in the house every once in a while. But I swear to God, about after a week, everyone got bored of it. Just stood in the glass thing. Then they got rid of it too. It just sits there, bro. You know what I mean? It was like cool for a few hours. And then we watched it kill the rabbit. And we're like, that sucked. I was going for the rabbit. So that was it.
Yeah, at least in nature, they have a fighting chance. Here, the point is for them to fucking, it's literally like lamb to the slaughter. It's like, yeah, let's go ahead.
Or nature's hella ruthless, right? It'll be a fucking animal stuck in a hole or some shit. Here comes a snake. Like, oh, look at you. Or it finds fucking baby birds on the ground. Like, what the hell's going on? But so I never liked it. But Valdez still has his alligator. I thought that was pretty cool. The thing is getting big, very big. It follows him around. He walked it to the pool.
Oh hell no!
Yeah,
fuck that shit. You can never domesticate those, yo. Like
I know.
Can snap at any fucking time.
He definitely still does the whole fast passing. Yeah, he's not feeding it by hand. Hell no.
Good. Jesus. We don't need no damn, like, all right, his career ended. Like, oh, was it because he broke his jaw? Was it because he fudged the court? Like, no, his alligator is going to be like fucking Chubbs from fucking, Happy Gilmore. He's going to be like, oh, that damn alligator. Carlos, his name is, coming down on my pride.
He's got to turn maybe, 2 spins to take your whole arm off? Elbow gone.
Yep. Crack.
Yep.
Oh boy. Alrighty. So next topic. We were talking about it on the last topic, but it has been revealed, I guess I want to say to some degree, that the David Benavidez and Zurdo Ramirez pay-per-view didn't do that great numbers. Let me go ahead and read this post that I found on Boxing Daily. This is a screenshot of Inevitable D Block. That's the name of the Instagram X account. Pay-per-view numbers are in. The source, Rick Glazer. The topic says, or the caption says, ouch. The business side of boxing just took a massive hit again. Rick Glazer reporting Benavidez versus Zurdo did a meager 143,000 pay-per-view buys, with only 77,450 seats sold at T-Mobile Arena. The hype, unification hype, I don't know why I said that. It's just cruiserweight bout. Anyway, the hype didn't translate to dollars. Great undercard, but without the real fans of boxing, of course, the face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, seems as though the Benavidez star status took another massive blow. So 143,000 pay-per-view buys. If you multiply that by $80, which is the pay-per-view, that's 11 million bucks. That's not too shabby. Granted, it's not the 500,000. It's not the 600,000. That's a decent amount of money, I think. Considering Benavidez, when he was on the undercard of I think Frank Martin and Gervonta Tank Davis, that one did 165, I think, or 160, something like that. So 143 on his own. yeah, I don't know what the previous numbers of his were like for Caleb Plant or anything like that, but 143,000 pay-per-views. I know it's not the best, but I just
Are you joking?
at least it was over 100K, yo. I'm just
No,
saying.
fuck no, bro. Come on. How low is this bar set, man?
It's pretty low.
That's pretty low, dude, to be like, oh, 143, that's decent. No, it's not. This was supposed to be our fucking Super Bowl.
Mm.
I told you, man, I don't know where the Mexican fan base is right now. I really don't. Because I don't see it in the MMA world either. You know, are these new kids just not watching fucking sports? Now, I got to tell you, we must remember that the live stream that I was on, what did it have?
Seamless. No, okay.
It had 60,000. What I had texted you guys. Remember, or 20,000. It was in the high numbers though of watching some girl show the fight through her phone, bro, as she recorded her TV. That's a lot of pay-per-view buys, man. Right?
Mm.
Hey, if you look back on the text, I'll try to find it later. I sent you and Anthony the numbers because she was announcing them as the fight was playing. She's like, I'm doing really good tonight. And I was blown away by how many people were watching her feed. It was a huge problem, dude. Mm. No, the fight didn't sell out there in Vegas. There was rumors, right? You even seen it, that the fight wasn't selling. Now we get the numbers back on pay-per-view. They suck. I'm telling you, the fight wasn't even in the fucking casino. And look, and I get it. People are going to say, Andrew, you can't, you know, by putting it in the sports book doesn't mean you're going to get it the pay-per-view buy. It gets eyes back on the fighting. It gets eyes back on boxing. You know, DAZN, if no one's buying your fucking subscriptions, then maybe you should go strike a deal with the casino to get DAZN into the casinos and their sports books. Right?
Yeah,
it's Nevada. Make a fucking way. It's the casinos. Make a way. Manny Pacquiao can make a deal in the parking lot with a fucking briefcase full of cash. You can get this done too. You know what I mean? Send Manny. Manny will negotiate that shit. Manny's like, I don't give a fuck. You paying me?
Yeah. It's like, is the money in the suitcase in your trunk right now? I'll take it. I'll take it. As long as I can see it right now, I'll take it.
That's hella funny. And Bob was like, you got to take it back.
Like, return this. Can you get buyer's remorse?
He gives it to Oscar and Eric. Daddy said I couldn't have it. Daddy made me bring back the money.
Like, yeah, I should have asked for permission first. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, so 7,500 or 7,400 paper or tickets sold. I knew that they were going to cut off, some of the top part. Yeah, just they didn't show up. I mean, this is an indication why they didn't have it right at the damn casinos. I mean, when you get these kind of numbers, I mean, I guess I would see why they wouldn't have that.
It was Cinco de Mayo though, bro. I don't know. Hella Mexicans there, man. I think if they would have seen the fighting going on, they would have showed up, bro. It was Cinco de Mayo. There's got to be people out. I don't fuck. I just can't believe
what are we missing? Low. What are we missing here? I can understand Zurdo not being the superstar because he's lost to Bivol and really, I mean, even with we give Oscar De La Hoya a lot of credit for making these Latino fighters superstars. He's doing it sort of kind of right with I mean, when I say sort of kind of, I mean the Latino part with Ryan Garcia, but didn't do with Zurdo. I mean, maybe it's the weight class. Will Benavidez benefit if maybe he comes over with Oscar? I know he's with PBC right now, but like, can Oscar make him the fucking star? Because Canelo on a Cinco de Mayo weekend against his fucking shadow would get 500, 600K. On alone. We have two guys here that are recognizable names, at least to some degree, and they're Latino. One of them being Mexican American, one of them being American or Mexican. What are we missing? Like, are these guys? I mean, obviously they're not big enough stars, but why aren't they big enough stars? The Zurdo, I kind of understand. The Benavidez, I don't. I figured he would be by now.
Well, Benavidez is simple. He went after the wrong fan base in the very beginning, and he never got Canelo to get that fan base. right? Doesn't mean, and I don't mean he's going to beat Canelo, but
Yeah.
Canelo never gave him the opportunity to keep that ball rolling. I think it's still there. If Canelo wants it, Benavidez should go after it again at 175, and I think Canelo should make him come down to 175. Canelo should put every advantage he can on a piece of paper and send it over to them. Say, fuck your 200 million. This is what you're doing for me. And if you want the fight, then we'll do the fight. And then at the very end, go, my charge is 200 million, though.
Yeah. That's how much it'll cost you.
You didn't make them feel good in the very beginning. Fuck your 200. Yeah. Be like, yay, we got them cheaper. Bitch. So I think Canelo should do that, but no, that's what hurts David. No, David went viral. David don't have a problem going viral, right? That knockout, I seen it on everyone's feed. I got phone calls on it. A lot of guys were like, I haven't seen him in a long time. Man, he still looks good. Kind of phone calls, but at least people were still seeing it. You know what I'm saying? So he's hot. Now Al Haymon needs to get him back in the ring as fast as they can. Better opponent, if not Canelo himself. And I think David has opportunity to be the face of American boxing. I really do. He has the hand speed. He has the resume. He's built a pretty good resume, adding Zurdo to the name of that already had Caleb Plant on it. You know, those are two. He started building up good wins back to back here. So I think he has opportunity. Unfortunately, it's all about timing. And right now, boxing's in a real fucked up place where we're not getting a lot of exposure. I mean, I can't hide behind this shit anymore. This fucking fight was supposed to make me feel good. This 143,000 is not making me feel good, bro. No, because these are like guys who are supposed to say, you know, oh, you have NFL players? Well, I have David Benavidez. The dude made $11 million. The fuck?
And you know what's funny? I mean, well, I'm saying it's funny, but I hear a lot of people talking about Benavidez taking over the Cinco de Mayo weekend thing, right, from here on out kind of thing. It's like when you have that, it's because you're something. But with these kind of numbers, I mean, it's like, huh?
Constantly these kind of numbers.
Yeah, constantly these kind of numbers. Doesn't matter what date you fucking land on, it's you. It doesn't matter. I don't know if they're going to, PBC going to try another Cinco de Mayo or maybe a September type fight. Benavidez supposedly said he wants Bivol next, and Bivol has a fight coming up later this month. I think of the 30th of this month. So May, June, July, August, September. That's 4 months. That's enough time, I think, for Benavidez to drop back down to 175 and maybe make a September fight. I know we might get Mayweather and Floyd at the MGM Grand in September. Not that same weekend though, and then Canelo and Billy. But Canelo and Billy might be over there in Saudi Arabia. So maybe that leaves a gap. Maybe that leaves the opening here. Maybe we can get, the September, the Mexican Independence Day weekend here in Las Vegas to have Benavidez maybe fight Bivol. And then if he beats Bivol, maybe, he'll become the next, not just American star, but maybe Mexican star. But it's enough time. Hopefully that will be, because we're not going to have Canelo here. I'm thinking not wait till next Cinco de Mayo, but rather September. And Canelo's not going to be in town in September. So that seems like a good opportunity.
Yeah, to go after Bivol. I just don't know how much star power that gives him for beating Bivol.
It probably won't. They can push this narrative. Oh, this is the dude who beat Canelo. Oh shit, this is the guy who beat Canelo. Cool. Now here comes the motherfucker, to beat him. All right, I guess that means something. It won't be that same kind of star power. I get it, but they can try to pull that narrative and maybe try to spin the story that way, so it'll make it look like, oh shit, here he comes. Maybe avenging Canelo's loss or whatever. But essentially, making it him, the guy who beat Canelo, and then that guy comes in and Benavidez beats that guy.
Turkey would have to be involved. Their pay scale don't match their marketability right now. Neither guy. Bivol is not worth what Turkey paid him in his last few fights, and obviously I don't know what Benavidez is making, but I think it's too much if you're only bringing in 143,000 pay-per-view buys. Because dude, we got to cut that. Taxes are going to come out of that. Some of that's going to the company that threw the damn fight. Some of that's going to training. Like that 11 million goes away really fast.
Yeah.
It's just that's not a star. That's not pro athlete MVP. You're one of the best in our sport kind of money. So and that's a problem because, like I said, he's been doing that constantly. He even did that with Tank as an undercard. That was pathetic. When him and Tank went on the same thing, and I had an excuse back then. I got no more excuses for PBC. I'm really mad at the fact that when I found out, what the casinos told me. That's when I was like, all right, we gotta get. And then when I came home, I'm in bed, not thinking about girls. I'm thinking about DAZN being on pay-per-view and how that's gonna fuck up my life at the casinos too, right? So like, am I not supposed to go? Oh, I'll tell you what I got planned. I'll tell you what I got planned for Saturday, but you know what I'm saying? Like, is this what the near future, or how do I say it? It's not going to be forever.
The foreseeable future.
Yeah. It's going to be me fucking gambling on boxing that I can't watch, or I need to watch it on my fucking phone. That's embarrassing, dude. What an embarrassing sport, bro. Come on, man. We got to get that right. We have to get that right. 2026.
Alrighty. So
you need to talk to someone. You need to talk to someone at the MGM. We need to get to the bottom of why they're not buying the pay-per-views and why it. And then I'll go at a promoter and see what are the. Or I told you I'll go to the closed circuit. My guy, my mentor. He was the one that brought me up in this. I'm going to see what he has about getting into Indian casinos and why it's not being done. Because Indian casinos have sports books, dude, but they don't gamble. But bro, you know how many fucking
what? They don't gamble.
No, you can't gamble on sports in California Indian casinos. You can only do slot machines, tables.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no sports book. Remember?
So that's why you're specifically that, because you can't bet on it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because then now all you're doing is showing the fight, dude. Miguel, I'm telling you, there's so many freaking people that go to these things. There's thousands of people. You would think that they would want to put it on the sports book. All you got are a few sports that are going on locally anyways. If the boxing could work out something where they can just show them there, just to get eyes back on the sport, man. Obviously DAZN is out of touch. And DAZN's turning a new leaf in 26. We're going to see all these companies are now, it looks like, coming together. Basically, Turkey has forced the hand, made them all come together where they're going to try to put on better fights to get their money up, maximize their money, their profits. But there's a fucking real roadblock if none of it's being shown in the casinos, because we have to pay for this shit as pay-per-view. Because that's what the casinos are going to say. If they're charging us $5,000 to put this fight on, how the fuck am I going to make money just putting it on the sports book? And I get that argument, right? Like, I'm telling you, Miguel, we kind of forced them to buy that Canelo one last year, or was it 2 years ago now? Munguia, I think it was. Munguia we had them buy on a Cinco de Mayo. But they weren't going to show it, bro. You remember? And Christina went and yelled. I went and yelled. And all of a sudden, they called our room and was like, yeah, go to the Silver Legacy. It's there. But they had to buy that pay-per-view to put it on that night. I don't know what the fuck the casinos were charged. I'm going to find out, because I know it fluctuates. I know everything's different. So that's what they got to figure out, man. They got to figure it out, because those numbers suck, dude. I'm telling you. Those numbers suck. Those numbers make a lot of what Dana White says real. About boxing being broken. It's at a low spot. 143,000 buys.
The stuff. Look, it's not like boxing is 100% perfect, obviously, right? And the things that they talk about that are broken in boxing have legitimacy. I'm not saying that those things don't, but their replacement isn't a better option. I guess
it's saying, not.
Right? It's a terrible option. It's basically a one set of fucking shitty shit replacing another set of shitty shit. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is that the current set fighters get paid a lot more, or at least at the elite level, than over there. So when he throws that shit on here, he's cherry picking that. Obviously, we know it's not like there's things that cannot be fixed in boxing that need to be fixed. Of course it does. Clearly, this is an indication of one of them.
Yeah, but I didn't even know there was this big of an avenue. I really didn't. 143,000 buys. That's a low bar. I mean, when you're negotiating, when you're telling what you can bring for someone, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can be like, look at any of our numbers we do on TKO. It's not this bullshit. This is bullshit you're doing right now. And those guys are like, yeah, you're fucking right, man. Like, boom, they're signing. Like, I don't know, dude. I had a lot more hopes that this was going to give us a sign that at least the Mexicans, you know, because I had put a lot into us too, Miguel, that we've been driving boxing in America for a while, right? Like, all of the Mexican American fighters, I've been to Vegas fucking numerous times for fights, bro. There's a lot of Mexican Americans out there. You know, I got eyes. I'm looking at who's moving these crowds. You know what I'm saying? And so it's I don't know, man. I kept seeing LA was going to MMA. You kept hearing it. LA's MMA now, MMA now. I got a lot of I have like, what do I have? 2, 4, 5, like 6 nephews. Not really. They watch, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? They weren't like us in our 20s. You know what I'm saying? We didn't miss a beat. Me and my brother, we didn't miss a fucking fight, dude. Yeah. We really didn't. I'm sure you were like that too. Bro, when I turned 21, I'm going to fights in Reno. Like, immediately I went, as soon as I turned 21, I was already back. I was out there in Vegas doing my thing. By myself, with someone, did not fucking matter. I was going to fucking boxing fights. You know what I'm saying? They're not like that. They don't have that type of drive.
I'll tell you a quick story. My first job was at a movie theater. I worked at a movie theater, right? And there was a weekend that there was a UFC card when they got back on pay-per-view, and Zab Judah and Kazasu. And I was on Showtime. So, like, at the time, me and my family were in the process of moving to a house that was being built. In the meantime, we were living with family in one room. My family member said, all right, you guys have the spare bed or the master bedroom, because there's a bathroom in there. There was like 4 of us in there. You know, thankfully they were all gone because they're all at work. So I got off of work, and my buddy's like, "Yo, we're gonna watch this fight." Like, yeah, fuck yeah! We're like, come down to my fucking room, and I was like, let's sneak in the back door, the sliding glass doors, and not disturb the other family in the fucking house to watch fucking, Zab Judah and Kasasu and this motherfucker. But anyway, I threw that out there because yes, I mean, when was that? Like 001 or something? I was like 19, I think, at the time. So yes, it's not like that anymore. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the culture. I don't know. Maybe it's just they're more into basketball and baseball stats and NBA stats, NFL stats. I don't know. Maybe that's just where the interest is now.
Yeah, no, something's definitely happening, because that was a pretty big fight card that had a lot of different backgrounds of Mexicans.
That's true. The card itself was pretty fucking stacked too. Yeah,
right, man. Where you think it would have gotten a lot of family members to have somebody on the card that they watched. Because, like, back in the day, my grandpa, like probably your father, he watched all the Spanish boxing. He knew all the guys. Like, it wasn't like he just watched Chavez, you know what I mean? Or I just watch HBO. Dude, he watched all the late night boxing on the Spanish television and everything. All those fighters should have been on there at some point. Pitbull, Jaime Munguia, freaking Pedro, what was his name? The dude Munguia fought? Or
Duarte.
Duarte. Okay, thank you. Oscar Duarte. And then Zurdo. Like, all of these guys are like, should have been very well known in that community, in the Mexican community, bro, where the numbers would have been a little bit bigger than 143. The numbers were always big back in the day, so I ain't gonna say it's a fucking money issue. You know what I mean? It's not. It really isn't. So, no, there's something else going on. There's a bigger problem here. Now, I'm not gonna just lean it all on the casinos. At some point, have the fans left the sport, right? Have the fans left the sport. So
yeah, it's not just MMA feeling the suffering of the fewer numbers. It's combat sports in general. It seems, at least.
Yep.
All right. Last topic here that I want to throw at you, because you mentioned.
I go cry. Miguel ruined my night.
Hey, I'm here trying to tell you that this fucking MVP card is not gonna do shit. I'm just to help fucking compete against the UFC, goddammit. But anyway, trust me, I have my moments here when I fucking argue and punch at the wind at the MVP card. But we have to continue the crying. Fuck, Adrien Broner is quite in the situation that he's in. That I've seen a bunch of videos, and you sent me a message, Andrew. You're like, yo, when are we even gonna bring this up? Because this motherfucker is just going down this downward spiral, and it just continues to sink and sink. Every so often, my buddy will send me a video of Adrien Broner. I saw one today of him in a gym, in like an MMA gym or something, barefoot on some mats, and they're like, and Quentin Jackson, is retired MMA fighter, looking at his feet, like clowning on his feet because his feet are fucked up. His feet are like a Shaq, it's got like the big toe is like bent as fuck, like the nail on the big toe is like discolored or something. It's like, yo,
Damn.
like, what the fuck's going on with your feet, man? Like, that's like a pretty bad indication, homie. Like, his health, obviously, we know that his health is not that great. We've seen pictures, videos of him like half drunk, like talking, acting a fool in front of women, and women that I'm sure back in the day would have a problem with him talking the way he does talk to him. Now this dude is just a has-been. So you wanted to bring this up, Andrew, because you're like, yo, what the fuck? We gotta talk about this motherfucker. He's basically, the American Chavez Jr. here. He continuously giving us content to talk about. Every time I see it, it's just sadder and sadder. The situation that he's in right now, it's like getting exploited, by this social media or a content creator. I don't even know his name, this influencer that puts him on. I'm not sure. Like, I mean, it just looks like he's gosh, I'm trying to figure out. It's the carrot on the stick kind of thing. Like, yeah, continue dancing for me while I get more views on this shit. I mean, in this situation, maybe Adrien Broner just has no other choice. I've seen a post on Instagram talking about his however many children he has, that he has to go through thousands of dollars, or had gone through thousands of dollars a month in child support, because of the countless kids that he has. I think he said like 10 kids over 6 baby mamas, something like that. I'm not sure if maybe I have the numbers reversed. But anyway, Andrew, go ahead and throw in your 2 cents on this situation here. This is just getting sadder and sadder, isn't it?
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, what I wanted to bring it up was when were they going to put an end to it? And, that was the only cool thing that Ryan Garcia did. And I don't know the influencer's name either. I believe the young man is a prospect in boxing that also had.
I think he's an influencer who did one of those influencer boxing cards.
Oh, okay,
I think. But I mean, don't quote me on that. I'm gonna try to look him up here real quick while you go ahead and throw your 2 cents in there.
And yeah, and he's done this with numerous fighters, but Adrien Broner, it seems like, has just been a total train wreck. The other night he threw up on himself, which I thought was very sad, seeing the age of Adrien Broner. I didn't, he was wasted, threatening girls, always threatening girls. I actually thought they were going to pull his card at one point and just fucking drop the whole thing, because it was like just constant drama from him. But obviously it's getting views, and they're just going to ride it until he crashes. But Ryan Garcia came out last week and basically reached out to Adrien. This week has looked a little bit better. I did see the Rampage posts. He has a couple of posts with Rampage. There's one where Rampage is telling his daughter he'll pay for her nails. Did you see that one? He's on the phone. He's like, yeah, honey, sure, I'll pay for your nails. And Adrien walks by and goes, man, you a trick. And he goes, they need my daughter. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. He looks like he was hella apologizing. He did not want to piss Rampage off. He might be a 4-time champion, but he knows what wars to pick, huh? He was like, I'm sorry. And Rampage's like, get out of here. But no, he seems a lot cooler this week, at least as being drunk, intoxicated, acting a fool. But it's cheap entertainment. It's really sad. They were fucking, some guy sent him $500, dude. He acted like the world. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, look, I got money. And it's just, it's really sad where AB is. And he's tried hella times to get a fight. He's getting no bites out there. I think he already stopped training. Did you see when he started training again and was trying to tell everyone he wanted to get back in the ring?
Yeah, for sure.
I think that already went away. I don't think he's training anymore. It's over.
Yeah, I found the dude. Dean the Great is
Dean the
his Kick name, and I think Kick is a streaming service. I pulled him up here. Dean the Great. His real name is Nuruddin Shahid Shabazz. Okay, is a 25-year-old American YouTuber, TikToker, and influence boxer, born on October 5th, 2000.
Rampage gave him pork, bro. Did you see that one?
Oh gosh, no, I
They
didn't
were
see that.
they were in a restaurant, and that dude Dean goes in, starts eating the soup, and he goes, "Wait, is there pork in here?" And Jackson's all, "Oh hell yeah, there's pork in there. It's Asian food, man." And he starts like throwing up, and Adrian goes, "They know Christian now."
Oh Lord, I seen this.
Bro,
I saw this clip of him like thanking. Let me go ahead and read this here. Adrien Broner started thanking Dean the Green for helping him get money so he can pay for poon. That's not the word that's on there, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but this is what I saw here. I'm like, what the fuck? This was on the 11th, a couple of days ago. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's and I think this particular clip has Quentin Jackson as well. But anyway, when you say like when will it end, when will it stop, like are you saying like this Dean needs to drop the shit already, like with him specifically, or because you said he's done it with other guys? I haven't seen him do it with other guys. I don't know.
He had like, I was trying to think of who else he had. He had Ryan, and he had someone else he was following for a while, and they were just doing a bunch of content.
I might have seen the Ryan one. Yeah,
they were just doing a bunch of content videos, going out to clubs, all that, you know, all the BS. But Adrien, he went way more. Like Adrien was staying at his place and freaking just every video seemed to be a mess. He did have one video where he was trying to help him, I guess, get him certified in YouTube so he could start or TikTok certified, something where he could start streaming. I don't know all that shit. You guys know that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But he was trying to get him certified so he could start streaming, but Adrien was just drinking and drinking. So we'll see. Maybe this week, maybe they are able to talk Adrien into trying to get a real career in the social media thing, even though I think he's too old. It's just like when he dances, everything looks so old on AB now. You know what I mean? Like he's not young anymore. He's trying to act like that young man. How old's that young man?
25. Well, he will be 25 or 26 later this year. 26.
Yeah. So he's like getting into his prime years, bro. Where Adrien is not in his prime years, but he's trying to act like it. You know what I'm saying? The throwing up in the car was just a bad fucking look. I couldn't believe that.
You know, add to that, it's not like Broner is old necessarily. He's 36. So he's not that old. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's in his like late 40s at this point, which would be worse, of course, but he's not. You know what I'm saying? He's in his mid 30s here, mid to late 30s. So his body shouldn't be in this fucking position, or at least in this condition. I meant to say, the years that he's put on his body from all whatever the alcohol use, the partying, all the other shit, you know, it's catching up to him, of course. But yeah, I'm not sure what he can do. Even if he does become like a streamer or something like that, I'm not sure people will you know, log into that stuff. He's gonna need the rub off of somebody like this Dean the Green, or whatever the fuck his name is, Dean the Great. So. Yeah, I've watched. My buddy's always sending me. My homie Martin is always sending me videos of him and bad mouthing women, like in person. You're right. He's talking shit to them, and then this one recently with him basically getting money, supposedly according to this clip, by this Dean the Great dude to go get some ass. Yeah, it's just like every time I see it, I'm like, man, it's what a change. Like now it's Chavez Jr. hitting the pads, working out there, and this motherfucker in the gutter, pretty much.
He asked that dude Dean. He goes, how much you ever paid for a girl? And Dean was like, I don't know, like 5. And he goes, 5 racks. And the kid starts laughing and he goes, 5 racks? Hell no, like 500. And he goes, man, I gave a girl 80,000 one time. Like, what an idiot, bro. Why would you say that? Why do you think that's a flex, bro? That you got to give a girl $80,000 to fucking sleep with you.
And it's not. I mean, obviously, the flex isn't the fact that he slept with a chick; it's that he had the 80 grand there to use towards it. My buddy here sent me a video of him talking to. I'm not sure if it was with him, but he was on a podcast or something talking about that time that he had the beef with Paulie Malignaggi, and he beat him, and he said he banged his chick, yada yada. And the content creator or the guy who was running the podcast asked him about it, and he replied, he's like, "Oh yeah, like yeah, I was banging her the whole fucking week." And it's like, and then he goes off, right? And when I hear him talking about this, I almost get the impression that he's like, I mean, like I think about that uncle from Napoleon Dynamite who's like, yeah, back in my day, I used to throw a football, so kind of one of those things, right? And he throws
Right.
that fucking, it's like, yo, nobody wants
But
to hear that shit, like,
when you're but when you're begging for money, Miguel, he's
oh yeah,
literally
no, that
begging
makes
for
it, yeah.
money now, and then the next stream you're like, yeah, I paid 80 grand for a chick. That makes me go, you know what? Take my money back. Give me my
Yes.
fuck this. Dude,
That is why when he's in, I mean, like, if he paid 80 grand for that, like what else did he pay 100 grand for, or whatever the fuck else,
yeah.
just for the sake of showing that he had all this fucking money? Like, oh, it doesn't help, if he's gonna go, if he's gonna be on social media with this, I guess, role of asking for empathy because of the circumstance that he finds himself in, and then he totally throws that in the toilet by saying like, "Oh yeah, back in my day, I bought 50 grand worth of weed from my whole family." It's like, oh, what the fuck? What? Never mind.
Yep. Yes, sir. So.
Oh boy. But anyway, I figured I'd throw that one in there because hopefully things turn around for him, not at the expense of other people.
Let me ask you. Do you kick the tires if you're Zuffa? And I'm not talking turkey Zuffa. I'm talking the other Zuffa. Do you kick do you kick the tires on it?
No, not anymore. There was a I mean, Zuffa wasn't around then, but we're talking 2019 when he had his fight with Manny. That still then, maybe 2020, 2021. But at this point, I mean, he fought that Blair Cobb dude on like a fucking Don King pay-per-view that nobody fucking watched. At this point, there's just not even any point.
And he lost, huh?
Yeah, he lost. On top of that,
fuck. All right.
Yeah, it's not even worth.
That's a terrible defeat. Well, because Miguel, they need views. I mean, they're getting 200,000 views, bro. And I don't know what Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. did for them. Hopefully he did better numbers, but I was just saying they need views, like I was trying to get AB a check too, that's decent money at least. I would start him at the bottom, he's going to only make 30 grand or whatever their unranked fighters are probably. That's where I would start him at. Definitely give him a weight limit that he has to come in at or no go. Maybe 147. Maybe 147. If he's not at 147, he gets no fight. But I'm sure you got to get some views off of Adrien Broner being on Zuffa.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they'll get some views. Whether or not it's any more numbers than they're getting now is anyone's guess because we don't even have the numbers to begin with, right?
I drive tonight. Broner, Zuffa, and casinos fucking need bucking. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna sign we're gonna fill out make the petitions. We're gonna have the picket signs. We're gonna be picketing outside Caesars in Reno. Be like, show the fight, marching around.
PBC, someone needs to do a fucking meme on PBC's pay-per-view numbers since Garcia versus Tank.
Yeah.
We need to be like. Public service announcement to Al Heyman, it's fucking over. Like,
yeah.
Hello?
Like, is this why you don't show your face anymore? Because you know how bad the numbers are?
Yeah, dude, because he's lying to fighters. David didn't think he was going to make... David probably thought he was making 11 million. Not the fight generated 11 million. The hell? I just won 2 titles, bro.
Yeah. In a third weight class?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, dude. Like, what? I told you, man. They never made a star. Wilder was about as close as they got, and that was all because of the heavyweight action. Heavyweights are always stars. You just got to keep winning. You know what I mean? You're going to make it if you keep winning. Fucking knocked out 20-something tomato cans. Eventually, he was going to go viral. But no, dude. Spence was a fucking disaster. Tank was a fucking disaster. These guys both fizzled out on their own. I only say that about Tank because he's not fighting. He's kind of down right now. But yeah, dude, no. We'll see. Do we have fights this Saturday? Give me something to gamble on. Who do you like in the MMA, dude?
I kind of I haven't looked. I can check, but I haven't looked at any. There's who's fighting this weekend? Somebody's fighting this weekend.
So
I know.
disappointing. You're telling me the biggest MMA card in all.
Jeez. Yes, the one that's gonna have more views than the fucking UFC White Heart.
Go.
Huh?
Will you be mad if it does?
No, it's gonna. But
Oh, okay.
Gina is not gonna fight again. Ronda's not gonna fight again. So those guys are never gonna be on here again. Who the fuck knows? We saw what happened with Ngannou when Ngannou went from the UFC to PFL to here because he doesn't pull. It's a one-off deal. It's a one-off deal. That's essentially what it is. I don't think they're gonna go any further than that, but maybe they would. I wouldn't mind it. I'm not saying I would mind it. Oh, Keyshawn Davis and Nair Albright. Your favorite.
Fuck yeah. Yeah,
That's taking place on DAZN on Saturday.
Oh, shit. It's on DAZN?
Yes.
Oh, man.
But it's a regular DAZN. It's not pay-per-view DAZN. It's subscription stuff.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Maybe they've subscribed to the regular DAZN. All right. Yeah, well, there's my test right there.
All right. We'll give it a shot. We'll see how that goes. Yes, I will be watching the MMA card. I'll be probably posting a video on my fucking personal channel of my thoughts on it. But anyway, yes, there's some boxing, so we got something to watch. And then the next few weeks, actually, we have some good shit. We have Bivol, or no, 2 weeks. We're gonna have the Giza card with the pyramids, right? And Rico and Usyk, and then after that, we're gonna have Bivol. So that's something.
Very nice.
Okay, I think we got everything covered that we needed to cover. Anything else you'd like to add to this before we call it a show?
No, sir.
All right. So we are good to go. We hope you all enjoyed it. And again, we appreciate your patience from this Sunday, Mother's Day, that we had to skip a show. But we will be back Sunday talking about what happened on this card on DAZN with Nair Albright and Keyshawn Davis. So we'll probably talk about them, MVP MMA card too.
Yeah.
Shit. We'll be adding that to the to it. But until then, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. For my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapichet, I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Feed Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care and peace.